And with that, I'll go ahead and start the session review. No, the
Hell yeah.
what the heck is it called? The
For
review?
the last 4 hours.
Yeah. Recap is the word I'm looking for. How is that such a hard word to
Yeah.
look for? I need caffeine.
Because I think review. And also that.
Yeah. The pre-review.
The preview. Wait.
So last session on La Miera, you concluded some work in the wilds with the races and the drones. I think there may have been a little bit of bleed over from my memory, maybe bleeding over from the previous session. You spoke with Zoe, and in the nice sauna, and confirmed that she wants you to do something, and it's kind of going against Cassian, sort of. It's doing something that he wasn't going to ask for, and probably doesn't even know she knows about.
Mm.
You big thing dived into. Oh, sorry, other big thing. Dash's birthday with a double encryption, or encrypted double binary, I think it is what I called the episode.
Nice.
And the other big thing is Dash dove back into her memories and went looking for the last time that she saw the puzzle box open. Found it was when she was stealing the QEDs, or giving it to Android, telling her, well, along with the QEDs, telling her to do something to activate them, that Dash had already keyed them all to all of the crew's brain signatures, and to activate them, seal the box, seal the tube, put it where Dash found it upon waking up 6 months later, and Dash went into the cryotube. Android repaired the life support and shut herself down to also be affected by the QEDs. And that's where we ended, was that discovery. Dash is still in the QED, and has only made one check, I believe. So
yeah, I think that was the first thing I was going for, and I
Yep.
rolled exactly what I needed to get it. Yeah.
let me put us into the right pardon me, the right scene.
Yep.
Oh, and I'll also put us into frame roll 20 there.
Oh, shit, did someone increment the counter?
Did someone increment the counter?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, and there go 2 people.
My hidden message continues to be correct.
Yes, it does.
I feel like this is something that's vaguely mocking, but also quite accurate about us.
Yeah. Oh, it's very accurate.
Yeah. Is it in fact vaguely mocking?
I didn't know it was Dex that had written it, but it is very accurate.
I don't think it's mocking. I hope it's not mocking.
No.
Okay, take us back for a sec. I think I saw it, but I'm not quite sure. I
Next session.
you know I'll have forgotten by then.
Exactly.
Nerd.
Alright, so here we are, still in Dash's QED.
Yep. So we've just had the last time that I saw the box open, and the QEDs were there. Next question: where the heck did I get QEDs from? I'm thinking first time I saw the QEDs, unless I can ask where did I get them from.
Okay.
Don't see why you couldn't ask that.
Well, I don't know. Either of those two, I think, is a thing I want to know. So, because like, sure, like DAS doing memory wipe stuff, but like QEDs. How the heck does DAS get QEDs? How does this work?
That's a good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's
how
a
do
good
you want to
question.
search for memory for that?
Well, like I say, if I can ask for like, how did I obtain QEDs? Then that. Otherwise, the first time that I saw the QEDs.
Yeah, I feel like searching for the memories is more trying to assert something that you know happened or you believe happened, and saying show this to me instead of asking how did.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So
So
it'll get the same result that you're looking for.
So I could do like show me obtaining the QEDs.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. Which is probably the first time I see them, so
And
yeah, it works out the same.
The rare occasion where the first plan is actually better than the backup plan.
Okay. One moment, please.
Oh, no, that's actually not very rare at all. Your primary plan should be your best plan.
Yes.
Yes.
Depends on how you define best. Sometimes the backup plan is the most efficient, but has casualties you don't want, and so makes it not as good as the primary plan.
Well, yes, which makes it not as good as the primary plan. You've answered your own question.
No, the backup plan is still the best. It's just how do you define the best?
Okay, so presumably it's your backup plan because your definition of best involves
Not
involves
doing the things that the backup plan does.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think-
which makes it not the best.
I think the line drawn is that you might consider the backup plan the best, but somebody else is putting restrictions on you that makes the primary plan their best, and you have to go with what they say.
In which case, the primary plan is the best because it fits the restrictions.
Well, it is a very straightforward way of looking at it. Not a bad thing. Definitely not.
Depends on what you're optimizing for.
Right.
Good way of working it.
So the first time, DAS obtaining the QEDs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mix this up a little bit, and include also the first time she saw them, because I
Okay.
think that's also relevant here.
Note to self: ask more questions, you will get more answers.
Yeah. Well,
And-
you know, it's getting the context.
Yeah, combo questions.
And this one isn't particularly difficult, so really the only difficulty you're facing here is one, this entire time I've been forgetting that you're supposed to have increased difficulty based on how far away you are from original DAS. That's the part that I forgot, and I knew I was
Okay.
forgetting something.
Yes. Although I think we worked out that like DAS is actually fairly close to original DAS last time.
I think so, and so I'm fine with that. Until I've got the actual new intended system written down, I'm fine with going with it. So your difficulty is just the base 8 that I've been using, plus 1 for one previous attempt. And is it still core nature? Does it still use program? I am going to say yes.
Okay. Program. $15.
Okay.
That probably beats a 9, right?
It does beat a
might
9,
do,
yeah.
might do. Yeah.
Unless your primary plan was to get lower than 9.
I think it's implied in the social contract of rolling a die when playing Star Wars numbers that you're trying to beat the number. Get higher than
Yeah.
it.
Trying to get higher.
Yeah. 1 second, I'm just sorting the audio real quick. There we go.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, audio.
the first time that Das truly comes into contact with QEDs is something of a curiosity to her puzzle-solving mind. That's largely why you were able to use a program for this also, is because it still relates to her as a core concept of a puzzle-solving programmer. She's swirled past the dominant memory of Porcelain and Percy discussing the murder of Griffin Cage. All too familiar now, even though she can't see any details as she trolls past it. She knows what's there. And into a storage room with drawers and crates and shelves full of knickknacks and things. Most of them just basic spare parts, little trinkets here and there. Some which look like they could possibly be pre-tech. And she sees the white case, that device that you guys experimented with before and nearly blew everybody up.
Interesting.
And
I think I see where this is going to go.
and a couple of those little bucket containers, not bucket containers, those little things that you put nuts and bolts in that are like the rectangular with the sort of half a wedge lip.
Box is the word you're looking for.
I don't think they're called boxes, but it works for me. Little
I think
plastic.
I know the kind you mean, though. Yeah.
Like Adam Savage, what you would expect to see in Adam Savage's shelves.
Yeah. It's like a box, but the front is kind of only half as high, right?
Right, only half as high and usually a wedge facing forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
They also use it for candy.
Box with tray. And actually no.
And it just has little things that look like QEDs in it. It's not labeled or anything. The memory jumps, and you can feel Das's anxiousness, anxiety, and a little bit of fear as she's trying to fit herself in with this crew. This is clearly some point after she's been discovered and accepted for having presented the Mercure artifact. Well, the puzzle box, but the thing that was stolen from what you now believe to be Mercure interests.
Does make sense on multiple levels.
And she's asking about the things in storage. Most of the crew there are blowing her off, just ignoring her. Griffin Cage, you can see, kind of gives a concerned look over at Das. And Porcelain, of all people, responds a little bit, less coldly than the others, less ignoring of her than the others.
How nice.
And says that they were on the ship when she took it. Thinks that there are some Trin artifacts. She is labeling the entire contents of the room as Trin artifacts. Which, you know is not true, because some of it is just spare parts.
Well, yeah, but, to someone who doesn't know what a Trin artifact looks like, sure, it's all Trin artifacts.
Wasn't acid on the ship at that point?
Wasn't what?
Wasn't acid on the ship at that point?
Blue Star, yes.
Okay, doesn't mean she was necessarily asked, but
Well, yeah, indeed.
if you think it's Trin and you have a Trin scientist with you,
Yeah. Acid wasn't on the bridge, which is where this scene occurred.
Hmm. Yeah.
Nataria was. And that's... You did ask when she handled them. The scene jumps to her very, very deeply afraid emergency lighting and her scurrying over to that storage unit, which has been locked, but she knows the code. It is the same one that you found nearly impossible to unlock through brute force.
I was wondering if it might be that one.
It
Yeah.
was. Mm-hmm.
does this get to see the code here?
The memory isn't clear enough to see the code now. And you're punching in the code, hiding it as if from herself. And slipping in, looking around, make sure nobody sees her, and going to the QEDs with a brain full of new knowledge. Seems she's done some research on how these things work.
Okay.
And that's the memory. Go ahead and take your one system strain.
Interesting. Interesting.
While we're here, I want to clarify the weirdness of the time issues last time. I had originally written out a complete algorithm on time spent in QED versus time lost. It initially worked out to be like 2 or 3 weeks in the QED. However long Das had set it for in that I wrote Das had set the time for was enough to erase about 3 weeks of memory going back to when the crew discovered the Griffin cage, and it worked out like that, with it ramping up after that. Actually being slower, like an hour was only a few minutes of memory lost at first. I later on
accelerate.
Yeah, I later on simplified that a lot to be like hours equals days, days equals weeks, weeks equals months, or actually, I think I actually did it quarters or 6 months, half years, for simplicity, but lost the detail of that time. So, for our narrative purposes, it was set for exactly how long Das believed it to need to erase the memories of Griffin being discovered, which was about 3 weeks prior to that incident.
Okay. Yeah. So essentially, the fact that the times seem weird is an unintended thing, and don't read into it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, it's meant to line up. It's fine.
Yeah, Das did things right. The GM goofed when he tried to simplify things.
Oops.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well, right by a certain definition. Do you have any other questions for the memory bank? Literally.
Yeah, I think so. Right. So, where did the QEDs come from? Right. Since 4. Ship. Okay, so that's where they came from. Yeah, I mean, I'm in here. I've got a bunch of system strain left. Let's find some things out. So memory-wise, I've seen Notario on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Have I seen Libra around anywhere?
Not in the memories that you've seen yet.
Right. Okay. For Libra and Acid, is there anywhere that I would potentially expect to have seen them that I've seen in memories that I didn't?
Roll me a wisdom no check. This does not count as a memory search.
8.
The fuzzy and nauseating 4 and 5 dimensional effect of being inside the QED makes it really hard to pin down if you did see Libra, or are you just remembering that you saw Libra and then the QED, like your brain interpreting that glimmer of light from within the QED as Libra. So no clear answer.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, so I've got the full thing of the QEDs. I think we've got a full timeline now of how we got where we ended up from all the way at the start. Other than maybe that thing with the contacts. But that's not something that Das would have known. I'm gonna just use this on some things I'm curious about. Interactions with acid.
Okay. Can you be a little more specific?
Not really. I mean, if there's interactions with acid in the process of doing the research for the QEDs, then that. Otherwise, just like the most, like the kind of the most relevant interaction with acid, like the most impactful or the most consequential or anything like that. Just kind of what was the vibe with acid before?
Okay. I think it'll be a little bit more difficult because you're grasping at straws, basically. You believe something's there, but you're not
Indeed.
sure. Yeah. So I'm gonna put this at a basic difficulty of 10 plus 2 that you've asked. And I'll let this still be program.
Okay.
You needed one higher.
I did. Yep. So that's dominant then, which is
dominant.
Porcelain and Percy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I think with that, I think she'll realize she's kind of losing the ability to focus it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And just drop out. Let this QED session come to an end.
All right. Go ahead and roll your 1d4 plus 1.
Okay. 2.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Only 4 system strain total. Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, not at all. All right. Now, I know you guys wanted to also go into porcelain. I am going to propose we hold off on that, so we're not doing back-to-back QAD. But I'm not requiring it. If you guys really want to, we'll let you.
Not enough that I'm not okay with waiting a bit.
Yeah. Probably be good to try and get that in a session where there's all of us anyway, if we can manage it.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Indeed. It's like not wait forever, but you know, if we can manage it in a reasonable time frame that we're all here,
Yeah.
that'd be a good one to do.
I think I just basically just don't want you to withhold on information that you believe is useful, and then something comes up, and you're like, wait, if we had just done this, we would have more information.
Yeah.
So do it when you think it's appropriate for the characters. I'm perfectly fine with doing it this session. I just don't want to do it back to back with Das's QED.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So.
Oh. Huh. Oh no.
Hmm.
Well, I'm just thinking about how Das is going to process this,
Oh.
and I think I've just figured out a thing that is a plausible outcome, and yeah, we're going to go in a direction here.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh.
Okay.
Do you want to open up that can before we meet with Cassian?
No, I think it's not a thing where there's going to be some big event that everyone notices.
Okay.
It's more like, if anything, it's like you'll notice after a few days, it'll be like, wait, is Das even still on the ship? Like, where's Das?
Oh no. Okay. All right.
Here's my question. If Das did talk to Acid about it, does Acid already know that Das is the one that did it?
Well, that was kind of why I wanted interactions with Acid, but then I didn't get them.
That's where you're going.
Yeah, that's like basically Das clutching at straws and trying to figure out, like, who can I even talk to about this stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, unless anybody has something that they want, a scene that they want to occur within the next few days, then your invitation to Cassian's estate is about 3 or 4 days away, and we're going to jump to that.
I think that's okay.
Okay, that's what put you.
You would basically not see Das at all for those few days.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm.
Do you want to respond to that, Viral or Nox?
Yeah, I think if you have been like fully missing for a couple of days.
Yeah, like it's not unusual for Das to be difficult to find, but to not even see her at all, that is unusual. Normally she's around, and like she'll pop out of a vent and you'll see her go in the mess hall, or you'll see her just hanging around on the bridge from time to time. Like, she's difficult to find, but she's around. You see her, you know, she's not disappeared.
Yeah.
Normally shows up when someone's doing maintenance in a vent.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, you have also just hired on your new crew.
Yeah.
So, Could Das just be being shy?
Plausible. Although, is Das shy?
Not excessively so, I wouldn't have thought. Like, I don't think you've been excessively shy before, you know?
She hasn't hidden the last time you hired crew, so not really.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah,
She-
precisely.
She just might really dislike one of these people or have a crush on one of them.
I think that's less likely.
I think so too. So yeah, what
Yeah.
does Percy do here? He's recognized this. He's noticed it.
Yeah, just message that, I think. What's the effect of, hey, are you okay? I haven't seen you around for a couple of days at all.
I think it would be a while before you get a reply. Like previous things where it's like it's hard to find Das, but if you send her a message, she typically will respond within like a minute of you sending the message.
Yeah,
Like
so
you can't physically find her, but if you go and send a message, she's there right away.
Yeah, and that's a little bit concerning in itself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, like, you send it, and the minutes tick by.
Yeah.
It's not like hours, but
Yeah.
compared to normal response speed for Das, it's slow.
Yeah, by your rate, it may as well be ours.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, it's like if the normal person responds in 15 minutes, this is hours. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what she'd write. I know she would respond. What am I going to write? I think. Yeah. It's a location on the ship. Stated very sort of almost as if she's just like like it'd be it's stated in the same manner text wise as if you'd asked where you'd left your toolbox.
Okay.
And she's just said, matter of factly, oh, it's here. Just a location stated, nothing else.
Okay. Yeah, and that is where I'm heading.
All right. What does Percy find when he arrives?
It's a quiet area of the ship. It's not an area that people would typically need to walk through or to. Possibly some kind of storage area or maintenance or somewhere quiet, basically. There is no sign of Das, at least to start with.
Okay.
But if you hang around for a little bit, there is a quiet noise coming from one of the ducts. One of the vents.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, I am going to go to just like the vicinity of that duct and then just firmly tap the wall a few times. Just
Okay.
tap.
The noise stops suddenly as you got close. It's quiet. It's muffled through the vent, but pretty clearly crying. And a hand just flops out of the vent. Like reaching out.
Okay, yeah, I will reach out and hold the hand then.
Okay. Pulls,
Yeah.
and the rest of Das follows it out and kind of half flops out of the vent, half falls out of the vent. There's not really like you may have seen her come out of vents before. She
Yeah,
doesn't normally flop out
like-
of them.
It's slicker than that. Yeah.
Yeah, like she comes out of them and she's on her feet. This, she comes out and she's kind of almost sitting on the floor at the end of it.
Okay. Huh. Do you want to talk about it, or?
What's the point?
Mm, you may be smarter than me, but you can't think of everything. Perspectives? Or just having someone who can say, hey, maybe go easy on Dash, she's going through some rough stuff, without you needing to be there and say it and deal with everyone.
Huh. Rough stuff.
Mm.
It's all
Wait.
of us, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that look. QED?
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
more ways than you think.
Mm. I mean, last time I went in, it was like I'm a grown ass adult, and the last time I went in, it was me getting shot by Trail when I tried to assassinate him. So yeah, I can only imagine how bad that's for you.
You
I mean,
getting shot?
yeah, happens sometimes. But yeah, like I was career mercenary. You just got kind of tossed into all this, so can only
I got
imagine.
tossed into all this and nearly killed us all.
Because he doesn't say anything, he just tilts his head a bit. Eh, no pressure. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. But if you don't, and he squeezes a hand a little bit,
I
no pressure.
just promise me something.
What's up?
Keep the old me and the new me separate.
Separate, as separate as Elise is from Sarah.
Okay. I mean, old me
Mhm.
did this. The whole thing, the QEDs.
Really? Huh.
I mean, I like didn't like cause the
Mhm. Yeah,
the whole stasis thing, but
yeah, the salvagers and the people who like they were
yeah.
fell the sun and left it for. If anything, you're the reason that we didn't die of that because you coded in the overrides. But yeah.
I mean, sure, but
Huh.
if I hadn't, we'd have woken up. We'd have known.
Hmm.
We'd have been ourselves. Well, the old selves.
I mean, you've had people talking about how nasty the old us were, so. But I'm not gonna give you the whole. Oh, maybe it was a good thing after all. No, no, you've got a shitload of guilt, obviously. So remember, anytime you can say, "Hey, don't talk about this," and that's okay. Like no pressure. You don't need to think of a way to work it into the conversation. Just done. Uh,
Hmm.
with that in mind, what happened? Like you did it was a reason. I assume there was a reason. Or
Of
did
course,
you
there
just,
was a reason.
or did old you just dislike the rest of old us that much?
Well, I mean, certain members were She kind of looks up at you and just sort of shakes her head a bit.
Oh.
Certain people were more involved than others.
Me? Come on now, you wouldn't shake your head at me like that if it wasn't me.
No, old you know, you're different now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, old me was very definitely a douchebag.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, old you was also really smart. And I mean, if you weren't then you wouldn't have still been here. So if that was the best solution that she could have come up with, then yeah, it may not have worked out, but did it solve the original problem at least?
I don't know.
No?
Well, kind of, but also I don't know. I think he's in prison now. But I guess prison's not dead, so that's an improvement.
Okay, so prison not dead. Old me was involved. Wait, shit, what was his name again? There was that one guy, one of the ones who, like, he was here, but then when we woke up, he was gone.
Yeah.
Fucking, what was that again?
Griffin Cage.
Griffin. Right, I thought it was Calvin something. I don't know why.
Well, it was. He had two names.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Griffin and Cage.
Griffin
Okay.
Cage, Calvin Rick.
Right, yeah, Calvin Rick. That was it. Yeah.
And I'm going to check my notes and remember which way round that is. Because I know one of those is the real name and one of them is the like undercover name, but I do not remember which way round.
You know, to the extent of that's knowledge, one of them is the real name.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is the real name.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Right, Griffin Cage was the name on the back of the photograph,
Mm-hmm.
but Calvin Rick was the name of the record.
Okay.
So I'm guessing it was Calvin Rick was the undercover.
That's correct.
Right.
Nailed it.
Yeah. But the name that we,
Mhm.
the name that we first knew was
Calvin Rick.
Griffin Cage.
Oh, what?
After the wipe,
Mhm.
Griffin
right,
Cage
yeah,
because
right,
it was on
yeah,
the
yeah.
back of the photo that was in his quarters.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. He was undercover,
Mm.
and I think you and Portia Lynn had figured that out.
Mm. Okay, yeah, yeah, I can probably take some guesses about. Right. Oldham was Old You's friend, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what does it? Was it so that we would forget the plans to kill him so that he could escape, or?
I think to forget you'd even found out.
Oh.
To just go back to before.
Yeah, no, that might have worked actually, huh? But then, why do we have your own memories as well?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know.
Maybe
But
it was so
it was everyone.
maybe it was so that you wouldn't have microtails.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, so. Huh. So in a way, if this makes you feel any better, right? If this makes you feel any better. In a way, it's kinda on me and Porcelain. If we hadn't found out, you wouldn't have had to get QEDs.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really help much, does it?
Mm.
Oh, do you want me to like Percy's, like he sort of gets a look on his face as if it's suddenly caught up with him that, oh right, she admitted that she wiped out memories because I was going to kill her best friend. uh, I'll chip it, and he sort of slides his hand back a little bit, like, oh, do you want me to sort of make, like, I get it weird if it's me.
But
No,
would it be alright if I make an observation?
Yeah.
I'll love it. I'll love it.
I'm fine with
Well,
it.
I'm gonna say I was just gonna say my observation is it seems like before the memory wipe, the ship was a real mess of conflicting loyalties. Uh, so in a sense, the memory wipe was a good thing because it gets everyone on the same page.
Oh god.
You know, just throwing that positive out there.
Yeah.
Mm,
And I also got rid of some of the problematic elements.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Hmm. But yeah, like I say, Percy sort of slides his hand back and sort of moves his torso back a little, like, oh, do you want me to? Like, I get that. I get this is weird. If this is weird, then you want to stop.
No, the the person in my memories that's plotting that stuff. That's not you.
Hmm.
I told you. That's different.
Hmm. I mean, I guess I've actually been doing some thinking on this. There's like any number of potential me's, you know, like in addition to the me that actually got crushed or shot or landed on or, but like, eh, I don't know. Like, there's the me that actually went through with it. There's the me that you remember that one time we were trying to get through that, like after we blew up that facility on what was it, March? Uh, and the policeman was kind of hitting on me as we were going out. There's the me that took him out on a date. Uh, there's the me that never got into this in the first place. There's the me that tried to like stick about and sort things out with Delilah. Look, the important thing is
Mm,
like, I don't know where I was going with this. It's just something I've been thinking about lately. But like, you seem more or less like from what we've heard of what you were like before. You seem more or less the same you, but you know you're pretty good in the first place. I improved. Uh, yeah, I don't know. We just got a fresh
mm.
start and are on average better people. I mean, you want to talk about people getting better after they lose their memories? Look at Miss LaRue.
Hmm.
Mm.
Mm.
So yeah, we got a second chance, and like it's important to focus on that as a side effect, you know, unintended as it was. And yeah, are there other ways you could have handled it? Sure, there were. You could have helped him escape. It sounds like I didn't know that you were on to me, so you could have helped him get away. He could have had inside knowledge that we would have never given him. Uh, maybe it would have been enough. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe you could have gone too. I don't know. But instead, you used this fucking big brain tech to try and fix everything, and in a weird way, it worked.
Yeah, I guess so.
Huh.
Hmm.
I do wonder, since they've lost their memories, you think Portia Lyons interacted with Griffin Cage at all? Or looked into the situation, or...
I don't know.
Hmm. I'll make sure, I'll try and remember to shout at her during the inevitable firefight. Yeah,
Hmm.
just poke my head out of cover and instead of a gun, how's Griffin Cage doing? Back down.
Hmm.
There we go, see, you can still smile.
Hmm.
Smile's not broken.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
You know what I think you should do as well?
Hmm.
I think you should go talk to Acid.
Hmm.
I think she'll be very straightforward, quite blunt, a little bit cutting, but supportive in a weird way. And if anybody can break out your funk, it's gonna be that, right? It's like having a hangover and getting cold water thrown in your face. Oh wait, Randy, have you drank? I don't remember. Not important. Hangover bad, cold water in the face wakes you up. Trust me.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you, of course, but yeah. I'll go tell everyone you're okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Frack efficient.
Thanks.
You haven't broken your leg in the vent somewhere. I'll go tell everyone you haven't broken your leg in the vent somewhere.
Das will, like, not in a way that it's like, almost like a thing of like, if Percy's looking for it, he'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's not looking for it, it's going to be invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Das will kind of open her arms slightly, extended forward slightly. It's like if Percy is in the frame of mind to be reading Das's body language.
Yep. Come here.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. Go in for the hug.
Yeah. Not gonna squeeze too tight. I don't know what you need out of this hug, so you dictate it.
Yeah. Das is like it's probably not like as hard as she can squeeze.
Yeah.
But she's squeezing fairly hard. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after they break apart, Percy just like as he's heading out goes, "Man, we have some weird traumas on this ship, don't we?"
We do. We do.
Like I have, what? I successfully killed my dad after 20 years after my first assassination attempt and felt bad about it.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, and you have, I made everyone better friends by giving them amnesia.
I mean, when you put it like that.
I mean, it's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder if Myokin has any interest in trauma. Like, I know it's really bad to wonder, but at this point, you know?
Yeah. I feel like at this point, right, it's going to be like Das has been invisible for 3 days, like completely gone. And then the first thing you see of Das is like her and Percy just wandering around the corridors laughing.
Yeah, if I noticed anybody like giving us or giving Das strange looks as we go by, like Percy will just went like out of Das's field of sight, just smile or nod or thumbs up.
Okay.
Like not too traumatized.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I assume that like if we're meandering aimlessly anyway, Percy is going to guide us towards the science lab.
Okay.
Not so aimless.
Yeah. It's not completely aimless.
Yeah.
Like if there's points where Das is ahead
Mhm.
at sort of critical junctions, she is kind of heading that way, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we're both heading
Yeah.
that direction, yes.
Yeah, Percy is like as insistent as he can be while still being plausible deniability about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh no, we're definitely going that way. My horoscope says I shouldn't take 3 left turns in a row today.
Big oof.
Without comment on whether Percy actually reads horoscopes, just that is the kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you end up at the lab where you do see Acid. Vicky is also here working on something. Looks like it's VR related. And so is Luna.
Yep.
Cool.
They're all working separately though.
Yep.
Okay.
Give me a sec, actually.
Oh, what's up?
It's like, message.
Okay.
Ah. It's texting acid ahead.
I see that now.
Yeah. For the audience at home, that's Percy texting Acid. You got 5 minutes free. Dash showed up and she has some stuff going on. In fact, I think I'll follow up with words to the effect of like if she's going to open up to anybody, it's you.
Okay.
Or it's probably you.
Well, Acid leaves Percy on red.
That's about what I expected. That's about what I expected. Yeah. Yeah, when I see that being left on red, I will just message to make it completely clear, bringing her your way. Yeah, just ding, ding.
Well,
Okay, she's leaving me on red.
Acid is still in the workshop / lab when you arrive. So, even having had forewarning, she did not leave.
Yeah, she didn't run off and hide, so it's good.
Yeah. Small smile. All according to Keikaku. And for the audience at home, Keikaku means plan. Let's be real, anyone watching this probably knows that already.
Yeah.
Acid looks up at your arrival and wordlessly walks towards the lab office.
Oh, looks like she wants to talk to you.
Yeah. I do want to ask, did Percy attempt to conceal the fact that he was texting someone from Das, or was it fairly obvious?
I think you first have to answer, how good is Percy with technology to be able to try and conceal something like that?
Yeah,
Nope,
that's the
nope.
other thing, is if he did try to conceal it, how good is he at doing that?
Not good enough for it to be worth the effort. I'll just
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, quiet texting somebody is difficult. You have to really know what you're doing with that text.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Das will just head over to the office then, where Acid's going.
Alright, is Percy joining them?
Yeah, if that's heading that way, Percy will go, do you want me to come as well, or just leave you to it?
I don't know.
Okay. Tell you what, I'll stay outside, and if you want me, you can shout or text, okay?
Yeah.
No pressure. I'll just, like, yeah, I've almost hit my high score on Tetris, actually, so I'll just wait out. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Or maybe not Tetris specifically. Has Tetris survived to the future?
Space Tris.
Yes, it definitely survives. Tetris is
okay.
timeless.
Okay. Yeah, Percy go, actually, let me show you later. I found this version where the blocks are made of sand, but not important right now. We'll talk to Acid.
Yeah, there's definitely variations. There's even a 4-dimensional Tetris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My variant of choice being Sandtris, which is actually a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
But
well, that's why my chair won't move properly. Okay.
What, because I'm playing Sandtris on it?
No, because apparently I'm, like, ripping up the floor underneath the wheel.
Oh yeah, no, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
It's cheat floor, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if Percy lingers outside while or lingers in the lab while Das moves on to into the office with Acid, Percy is being hailed by Luna.
Yeah, sure. Let's see what this is about.
Okay. I'm not going to role play it out. Just go into the brief details of it for you to ponder.
Uh-huh.
Luna says that she needs more readings of, or she needs readings of androids that they encounter. She has, of course, had equipment that allowed her to try and study androids in a lab environment, but in a lab environment, she recognizes that they are trying very hard not to be found out, whereas they may be less guarded out in the fields, out in the open.
Okay.
And so she needs funding to build equipment, and she also needs somebody to deploy it.
Okay. Dex, jog my memories briefly. What is it that we have Luna working on specifically?
How to? So you have Luna specifically working on how to not what she's asking you to do. In fact, how to block Libra from getting perimeter communications while
Excellent.
allowing her to have her internal comms on. Because right now she's got her internal comms turned off and she's just using an earbud like normal humans.
Okay.
So it is not what she's asking Percy to supply to approve. Well,
Yeah.
as part of the bridge crew to approve funding for and field operations.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I will say, however, it is something that was brought up in bringing her on board. Is the possibility of doing this kind of research.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, she's wanting funding to work on an android identifier, basically.
Yeah, she's got designs worked up. It needs to be built. That's basically what the funding is just cost to build it in a workshop here. And then somebody
Okay.
using it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll reply to words to the effect of, it's probably in the budget. We'll need to go check to be sure. I'll get back to you.
And somebody in the field, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, decent odds that's gonna be me. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. In the office, Acid does not sit behind the desks. She sits on one of the couches. And as Das enters, if Das isn't already closing the door, then she says, "Close the door."
Oh, yeah, I think Das would definitely close the door.
Yeah.
Just automatically. Yeah. Yeah. And she'd kind of. So you said Acid's on like a couch thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think Das would walk towards the middle of the room in vaguely that direction, but kind of keep stopping. Like take a step and just sort of stop and like assess.
Okay. Well, Acid remains quiet while Das figures out her office dance.
Okay. How wide is this sofa?
It's a 3-seater.
Okay.
And Acid has strategically chosen an edge to sit at.
Okay.
Giving Das choice.
Indeed. Yes. Are the cushions such that there's like 3 defined places, or is it kind of like there is space for 3 people, but you could kind of be in the middle? Two things.
Let me take a look at Acid's character real quick. That didn't help as much as I was hoping it would.
My perspective is a couch on a ship probably doesn't have detachable cushions.
Yeah.
I'm
I
thinking
guess
more.
they can still have.
I'm thinking the
I guess
built-in
they can still have
potions as
cushions,
well.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one piece. Maybe it's one of the the one piece molded furniture from Mona,
Okay.
which is its own
Is it just
special
like- is
thing
it just-
because it's all one piece. There are no breaks, no parts, and yet it
Yeah.
still has a soft cushion.
Okay. Is it just like a one continuous like level cushion, or are there like 3 sort of indents for sitting in?
That's what I was trying to figure out from Acid's personality, if she would go with the 3 separate or not. And I think she has chosen indistinct. So there are
Okay.
not 3 separate places.
Okay. In that case, if I just draw here, like, if you think of it like that, Acid is here,
Mhm.
Das goes here. I am choosing to not choose.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. And she'll just sit quietly for a moment.
If Das gives her the time, Acid will say something.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely at least a few seconds. So, if Acid would start, if it's like it kind of depends how long Acid would go, but it's pretty clear that Das is like figuring out how
Okay.
to start. Isn't going to start for at least a few seconds.
Yeah, I think Acid is going to break the ice, for better or worse, and say, well, ask, when is too soon for an I told you so?
This is about going back in.
I know.
No, I mean, there's more. It's not just about finding out. It's how much do you know about the QEDs that are here? Like, not the tech, the ones that we have.
They came with me. Orchelin picked them up as part of the deal made by, oh shoot, it was Galaxy. Made by Galaxy.
I think Galaxy being a typical trend name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Hmm. And how much do you know about how they got activated?
Roll me a wisdom notice check.
Wisdom notice. 6.
Oh wow. Okay.
What is that? That's a 4 on the dice. Uh, Yeah, no, she can get away with that one.
Do you want to re-roll it?
I was thinking about it, but Nah.
You do. You have the right to know what you're up against. You're up against a 10.
I know. Yeah, yeah. But the chance of me making it, like, I have to roll 8 on the 2d6 to beat a 10, or to equal a 10 at least.
Uh-huh.
So
That's not unreasonable.
it's not unreasonable, but yeah.
That is
Okay.
42% chance.
What the heck? Let's do it. Nope.
Okay.
See, you rolled an 8 on 2d6.
Yeah, 8 on 2d6 plus 2.
Well, you didn't specify that.
Yeah, I did. Anyway, yes. She does a thing that Das doesn't notice, presumably.
She does a thing that Daz doesn't notice, presumably. And she says that they were delivered to Porcelain, along with some pre-tech cosmetics, or the equivalent of trend pre-tech cosmetics, and kind of ventures an assumption that she assumed they were for a collector or a contact had asked for some.
Hmm. And they were just saying no.
Don't know what happened with them after she took them. Have an idea now, though. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. I don't know how they were used against you, but I should have kept better track of such dangerous technology.
Against me?
Yes, I'm assuming that the same QEDs that came aboard the ship with me are where your memories now sit.
Yeah. But I don't think they got activated the way you're thinking.
I can imagine any number of plots, most likely of which, to sell your memories to Galactic Mandate. Not yours. Porcelain, Percy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they would be valuable, wouldn't they? But no.
What makes a terrorist
No.
of Porcelain's
wasn't.
caliber?
It wasn't that. Well, if things had gone how they were supposed to go, the QEDs could have gone in the bin.
What do you mean?
They weren't activated to keep memories, they were activated to get rid of them. Just not quite as much as they did.
Go ahead and roll me a wisdom notice check.
Okay. Maybe I'll succeed this one. Let's see. 9. That's better.
Oh.
Fair.
Not that good.
What did you find, Das?
I found the QEDs in the storage room.
They were.
Sorry, a thing just jumped into my head, and I can't not let it out. Das in the storage room with the QEDs.
That's the correct answer. You win. You solved the memory murder mystery.
I mean, technically that's true.
Uh, uh, Acid muses to herself. So they were just sitting there. She didn't sell them to anyone.
I mean, it was. They were in like a locked room, but yeah.
Was that device still in the room? It would have been a white box.
The blowy uppy thing. Yeah, that was there.
Did you guys tell Acid and Tario and the crew about your adventures with that? I don't believe you have.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. But...
Is that what that is?
But
a bomb.
I don't know if Das would remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know that it's a bomb. We just know that it can explode. That's true of most things.
Well, yeah.
That's not important to right now. What's bothering you?
We I I don't know how I should phrase this really, but the QEDs, the activation. That was me.
Yeah, so just kind of nods.
Is that it?
You are very easy to read.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Did your memory tell you why?
Griffin Cage.
You were friends.
Yeah.
Perhaps your only friends here at the time. The rest of us wrapped up in our own human extermination projects, or too afraid of Portia Lynn and her human extermination project.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess. But he'd been found out, and Porcelain and Percy were they were gonna. Hmm.
When? You know when they were going to?
I don't believe that I do. I can't remember the thing.
If you put
Yeah,
QEDs,
the memory is just planning. So
if you activated the QEDs, researched it right under my nose, learned how they work, but you had to make sure everyone was sleeping at the same time, or risk someone waking up and wondering why the others aren't, or waking up and actually, sorry, I take that back. Let me remove the part about wondering why the others aren't, because that's not how QEDs work. They don't actually keep you asleep.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
she instead said, risk risk someone waking up and reporting memory lost. The stasis pods immediately after your unfortunate drill.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Android helped. I don't know why.
Android helped. She is Porcelain's android.
It may not have been a knowing help, but
Android was far more observant and smarter than anyone except Porcelain gave her credit for being. If she didn't know exactly what we were doing, she at least knew it was something that would affect her master. I'll talk to Luna about this more. So for world lore, androids are not supposed to be able to act against their owner.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like even the ADAs have that
Well,
restriction, right?
yeah,
Presumably.
presumably, yes.
Obviously, yeah, if this is true, then no. But
Mm.
I'm also kind of curious how Acid feels about Luna, because with
Yeah. Yeah.
since Acid and Libra are kind of an item, right? So
Kinda.
I mean, no, Libra doesn't like Luna.
Also, welcome back.
Oh yeah, welcome
Yeah.
back.
Um, she kind of physically waves that aside and looks back at Das. So you acted. If I was Porcelain, I would have just shot Griffin Cage through the stasis tube. No chance of him begging for his life, bargaining, or fighting back. You saved his life.
Yeah. Yes, I did. Think it's clearer now, though.
I'll point out a pattern that I think Das would notice or would be able to notice if you want to.
Okay.
The stasis tubes open up in the order of the number after the X. Or should let us first.
Right.
Now that may just be a coincidence. It's stasis tubes are supposed to open up when they're open, but if they open naturally, then that's the order that these particular tubes come open up in this campaign, or at the start of this campaign. And so you know that well, you didn't see Porcelain's, but you know that what is it? 119. John Randall's opened up first, and then Das, and so on. Although actually, I think the order got interrupted a little bit later on, because somebody jumped and opened somebody else's.
No, I remember the order because there was a connection from it. Elise's opened first, 800.
Elise's opened first.
I think so. And then mine, and then we opened the rest because we then interrupted the sequence.
Oh.
Wasn't it?
I think it was John, and then he opened Elise.
My notes
yeah.
specifically say that Elise woke up first and woke me
Yeah.
up second.
I
Okay.
seem to remember that myself. I seem to remember that.
Yeah.
Well, then ignore that because I did it wrong. not
anyways,
not
I'm
ignore
pretty
what
sure-
happened. Ignore me saying it was supposed to work this
Okay.
way.
Either way, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I think the sequence is interrupted pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it wouldn't even been a
interrupted
pattern
pretty
that Das could have recognized.
Yeah.
So my bad.
Okay.
I was going off of setup knowledge instead of what actually happened
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah. Well, either way, if it opens in the sequence that it went in, there's always a point that one's in and the other's not. Because either you go in after, or you come out before.
Yeah, and so I'll amend that to Acid saying she would have expected Porcelain to go in first so that she could come out first.
Yeah.
In any case, yes, Acid has theorized that Das saved Griffin Cage's life. And she ponders for a moment if Das had something she was going to respond with. May.
No, I think Das is kind of just thinking at the moment.
But yeah, if she doesn't, Acid says, I like all of you better now anyways.
How did I know you'd say that?
I don't think that's helpful to you right now, but this ship is still better. Epic music.
Hmm.
Do you need any sleep aids? With dreams or sleep or dreamless?
I don't know. Maybe I'll come back if I do.
Acid gets up off the couch, moves over to the desk, opens the drawer, and pulls out a couple of glasses. Next comes a little bottle with some shiny gold fluid in it, and out comes the whiskey. He pours 2 glasses and walks back over with them. Hands one over to Das and takes a draft of hers.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. That's a mimic. Yeah. Do the same.
Okay. I think this is Stas's first drink, isn't it?
Quite possibly. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you might be about to find out the hangover sooner than you thought.
Yeah. I will say in terms of playing the character, I don't drink in real life, so I have no idea.
Okay. You can mostly just go with media portrayals. There's we're not going to get too critical on the realism of it here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I do think that this is the first time Das has drunk since waking up. Obviously, wouldn't know if she had drunk much before that.
Wait, to the QED.
Indeed. Yeah, I think it's definitely the first
Yeah.
since waking up from stasis.
Right.
Before, who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
Acid offers a peremptory warning that this is not a solution to all of life's problems.
But it is a solution.
But it can ease the mind, relax tensions from time to time. What do you want to hear, Das? You want me to tell you how to live your life with this knowledge? Or do you just want to sit here? Figure it out yourself.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if you told me, it wouldn't be my life, would it? But that said, advice is always welcome.
Be you. You're not the girl before the QED. At least it's not Sarah. Just be you. You only own responsibility for what you've done. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be consequences. Wouldn't tell everyone on the crew, especially Percy.
Yeah.
He knows already, doesn't he?
Him and you.
Then don't tell Portia Lynn, if you ever meet her.
Yeah, that one's probably a given.
You can't change what you did, Das. Can't change what old Das did, whether it was right or wrong. Somewhere in between. You can only be the you that you want to be now. Take a new name, make new habits. Stop going through the vents, walk through the halls. Play drums while Elise plays violin. Find something that can be you. That's true.
Yeah, at least I'd switched to bass, didn't she?
Yeah.
Because it was, not
Yeah,
something
'cause the whole
that-
classical
yeah.
instruments had bad vibes.
Yeah.
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 Play drums.
I think Das would just not staring at the acid or anything, but just sort of sit and just sort of sit quietly for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
At least until the drinks are gone.
Yeah. How long does that take?
I don't know. That's kind of up to acid. Das would be Das not
Yeah.
knowing the social stuff for this would absolutely be like, okay, well I'm like a quarter of the way down this one, and acid's about the same, so I'll wait, and a bit after acid takes the next. She's like analyzing it so that they're both at about the same point.
Yeah. I think Acid is recognizing that Das is following her lead, and Acid is not going to blitz her.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah. Acid doesn't say anything else unless Das does. I take that back. She does say something else, and it is to tell the room, so to speak, to start playing music. You don't have Star Trek computers all throughout the Raza that you can just tell, change the lights, play music. But
Infected.
that does seem to be the case in the workshop office.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep. Fancy tech in the place where the people who could possibly install the fancy tech spend a lot of time.
Boy, howdy. Wait
I
till you
wonder
see
how
their
that got there.
and also in the same place that the people are likely to need the most cutting edge of tech.
Yes.
Yep. And
All
so-
sorts of wonders in there.
There's some nice soothing music. It's not quite classical. It's not an orchestra or anything, but it is along the same lines with indistinct instruments.
Okay.
And aside from that, Acid does sit and drink in silence. And she's going to make a guesstimation that at about the point she thinks Das is starting to feel the effects of the whiskey and get a little bit sleepy is what she's assuming. She's going
Kids,
to.
right
Hmm?
Kids, want another?
No, she's going to open out an arm towards Das and kind of motion her over.
Oh, that's the day of hugs for that, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah, turns out
Yeah.
like hugs are standard issue for dealing with trauma and guilt.
Indeed. Indeed.
Unless Das
Das
tries
is
to
still
go
just
for
a kid.
just a kid. Unless Das tries to go specifically for a hug, she's actually just gonna pull Das down into her lap.
Aw.
Okay.
Ah.
Yep.
She finishes her glass, takes what's left of Das's glass and finishes it, and sets them both off to the side and just kind of
You know,
holds Das there. Go ahead.
oh, if they, people forget. I think I said it was a mom, right? It's easy to forget sometimes.
Yeah, and she mentioned before that she likes Dash, partly because Dash reminds her vaguely of her kid. Her dead kid, I should add.
Yeah.
Just a reminder for the
Yeah.
audience. Yeah.
Yeah, that she watched die.
Yep, that one.
Yeah, so does Dash just kind of fall asleep there?
Probably. Probably. I'm trying to work out. I don't want it to be a. I kind of don't want it to be a guaranteed thing, but I don't know what I want to.
Well-
Roll Constitution, maybe? I don't know.
As opposed to a straight Constitution skill check would work. The con save is more, something that somebody would be experienced with. This isn't something that she's experienced with, because you get the benefit of your level to saves.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I could also call it a con check with a difficulty of, if you want me to assign a mechanic to it, con check with a difficulty of 8 plus current strain.
I'll take that.
Because that does kind of represent, the strain on her mental and physical facilities.
Yeah, yeah. It is technically passable,
Mm-hmm.
but con check at +0. 8 plus system strain is 12. So the only pass is 2 6s. And I got 2 1s. I am out like a light. Yeah. So effectively a difficulty 12, and I rolled a 2.
So I think I'll amend how I said Acid ends this. Is she takes her drink, and as it's starting to slip from Das's hand, she catches and takes Das's.
Yeah. It's not like she's taking Das's drink off her. It's like Das is literally about to drop it because she's falling asleep. Yes.
Yeah, it tracks.
Yep. Mm.
All right. Anything? Oh, hang on. One thing to do here. Blink. Um, anything that occurs after that, or any other scenes that anybody wants to do before we take a break? No? Good. I feel like that is a fantastic scene to take a break on, to end on and take a break.
Yep.
Yeah.
So come on back in 15 minutes and we'll forward a couple more days to. Actually, I think I already forwarded a couple days. I'll go one more. Yeah, that's right. I wanted to do Cassian about 7 days in, 5 to 7 days in. So we'll go another day, and then you'll meet with Cassian.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to return to frame.
Whoosh. The cessation of sound effects, it seems.
Yeah, it works. So let's move forward a couple of days. Again, stop me if there's something you want to do in those days.
Mm.
No,
Oh,
probably
the
still need-
thing with Luna, I would like to check with ours. How much money is Luna asking for budgeting?
She's looking for a starter of about 3,000 credits worth.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable. I'll be honest, I figured the money would be reasonable. I just wanted to take the opportunity to talk with everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We approve that as. I don't think anyone will oppose that as a budget item.
Mm-hmm.
Take it out of the ship funds.
Yeah. But yeah, also like,
But-
does anybody particularly want to know why she's doing this? Doesn't seem sort of related, you know. Yeah.
Oh, that actually reminds me. The Kevins. We need to, I guess, give them a sapiency test.
Mm-hmm. True, we do.
Okay. Yeah. Back over to the LaRue stuff, and then I'll switch over to them real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So sapiency tests are a thing I have in a file I haven't made available this campaign. I apologize.
Oh.
It's
Yeah, fuck it.
it's still a rework in progress.
I will note while you're contemplating that since the Kevin's a part of the security team, I am going to invite Libra, the leader of our security team.
Okay, of course.
And also, presumably, has a vested interest.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm inviting her. That is exactly why I'm inviting her. Nothing to do with the security thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I'm saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, in that case, I'm going to invite Libra because she is also an android and would like to see the results of this.
Okay, so
Not actually that loudly in universe unless I'm joking about it with Doug. If he actually said anything like, "Oh, you're inviting her because she's interested."
it
Like, I'm not going to say the quiet part out loud, but if someone says it,
Yeah, Doug will say it out loud.
it's actually repurposed one of these boxes, the recruitment box. Recruitment is now a testing box.
Oh.
And who wants to be involved with that? Is Miokin want to? Because she was in the box when I relabeled it. Do you want me to move her, Nox?
feel free to tag along.
I'm so sorry, I entirely spaced out.
Ah.
Ate it. Testing the Kevins for sapiency.
Sapiens.
Vacant can be there, but I don't think she has any horses in this race.
Entirely up to you if you want to be or
Who
not.
knows?
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
they could be your new best friend.
New
Uh,
best friend, you say?
Yeah, they could both be your new best friend because they're basically, on paper, they are basically the same personality.
Unless they aren't, and one's just pretending to be. And one's
Hence,
not.
on
That,
paper.
wouldn't that be the most tragic thing, though, if one's sapient, the other isn't?
Well, that's only one of them that's quote unquote buggy, isn't it?
one of them is buggy, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's honestly one of the that feels like a hint to me, but I don't know if it's you know.
And that's why we're investigating.
Well, I think we would have done the investigation anyways, considering. But
And that's why we're investigating.
So
Come on, do you check your post-it
the
to see if it's-
skill check is wisdom program or an int or wisdom notice. Oh, sorry, int or wisdom program or int or wisdom notice. After
Knowing-
lengthy passive scrutiny of at least 5 minutes or directed interaction of at least 1 minute. Those are the verbatim rules that I'd written when I was making rules for things. I no longer do like hard rules for everything, but I think the checks are still good and the times are still a good time frame.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends.
Knowing-
Real quick, it kind of like begs the question from you: how do you want to proceed? Do you want to try and be subtle and interact and observe passively, or do you want to just directly probe?
I think knowing ahead of time, because he is a professional, knowing ahead of time that this is the kind of thing that you can take a programming approach to, and also going, hey, maybe we should want a reason to be like an easy in to get back out interacting with the ship again. Percy would invite Das to be part of this.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
was
That's will show up.
Cool.
I was thinking an active probe, but with just basically away from their the owners. Essentially under the guise of making sure doing a thorough scan of the androids to make sure that there's no they're operating within our expectations.
Yeah.
And all that jazz.
Mostly from aware that we don't know, that even they don't know about. Not that we think there is, but we need to be careful, you know.
So, Orion, the leader of it, is reluctant but agrees. Nixa does not want. It clearly does not agree.
Does not want them out of her sight.
Doesn't, not so much that she doesn't want them out of her sight. She. How much did you tell them what you're doing?
I
think you had asked. You'd made intimations earlier when you were, finishing up recruitment of them. That you might test them for sapience, right?
I think the
Out
topic.
of character. I don't think we talked to them about that.
Okay. Maybe I mixed that in.
Not sure
I
if
think
we
we've been pretty coy about that. I think out of character we were saying we would just do that after they're hired because I don't think it would change whether we hire them or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It wasn't a condition of the hiring.
Then I'll give you a little bit more context on this. Someone roll me a quick wisdom notice for Nyx here. Not roll it for Nyx, but
against Nyx. So
against Nyx, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's usually Percy. Yeah.
Hello. Yep, just loading up the sheet.
Yep.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, that is pretty spicy.
Yeah.
She does not trust your intentions. She's clearly trying to fumble around for reasons and excuses why she should be there. And while they may be convincing on a certain level, let me actually roll for her. See how well she expresses this to somebody who isn't Percy. Not bad.
Respectful.
Yeah. The average person would probably accept what she's saying as, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. But
It's worth their
Percy,
investment.
even if it does make sense, Percy can see that there's clearly she's fumbling and struggling around to make this work.
Mhm.
The hiring work or
To make it
The
work so that
argument.
she is the Kevins are not left with you alone.
hmm.
Okay. In that case, Percy will try and contrive to be near enough to her that he can talk to her quietly.
Okay, yeah, this can go on over the course of like days or hours. So there's scheduling and stuff. There's no difficulty in that.
Yeah. And yeah, I think he'll just start the conversation casually, just like a, hey, how's it going? You doing okay? Etc.
Mm-hmm. She gives fairly militaristic response. Everything is fine, sir.
Okay, no nonsense. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Okay, I'll not dance around it then. What are you worried about us doing to them?
She's a little bit taken aback by the direct approach, but takes in a breath and says, I just don't know why you would need to speak with them without me or Orion.
Mm.
Actually, sorry, she says me or Kane. Is military.
Yeah. Mm. Okay, tell you what. I will tell you in the interest of extended trust because the person on the ship that I least want to antagonize is Das. The people that I second least want to antagonize are the security team. I'm sure you understand. And with that in mind, it's only gonna be like 5 minutes or so. It won't change your standing. We just want to do a quick check to see if either of them have signs of sapience. Unlikely, but he sort of shrugs.
They're androids.
Yeah.
Androids aren't sapient.
Really? Really? That's so?
Yes, they're not human. They're
Yep, and not human, so not sapient, right? I think the bro and the twin might have something to say about that. Just off the top of my head.
you're stretching, sir. You know what I mean. They're robots. Bro and Trin are just humans of different species.
Yeah,
Bro and
the
Trin
Trinity.
are not made
Okay.
with plastic and silicon, sir.
That's
Some
fair.
Trin
That's
are.
fair. That's fair. I mean, I could belabor the point and talk about Trin with cybernetic augments and body modding and etc. But we'll not belabor that point. But still, it is just genuinely quick scan of the systems, maybe 5 minutes talking to them. They are entirely allowed to tell you what we talked about afterwards. No problems with that.
Since we're speaking candidly, sir, why does this
Go
need
ahead.
to be private?
Mm,
Well, at this
You
point,
know-
I feel like it's moot.
You've just told me what it's for.
yeah. You know what?
But-
I don't actually
Mm.
know.
Actually, no. No. The good reason for that is, like I said, it's like a doctor's office visit. I mean,
Mm,
it's like if they've been abusive to sapient androids, which I mean, sure, they didn't think they're sapient, but
yeah. Mm,
you don't let the abuser in the room with them.
Percy's going to say none of that, and he's going to say,
I-
you know what? I don't actually know. I don't really know much about this process. I'll check in with the others, and if there is not a reason that I think you would find satisfying, then we'll let you in. You can be there with them. Is that acceptable?
It's not.
No?
These are our androids.
Hmm.
And I know that you hired us as a team, but
Hmm.
there is no reason, not even testing their sapience, for that to be done privately.
Hmm. Give me a moment. And Percy will type out a message to Das, words along the lines of why does the testing need to be like clarify why does the testing need to be done privately? He's going to show it to her so that she can see that he's not sending off a pre-coded commands or whatever, and then just like sort of tilt the head a little bit, okay, and then like hover his finger over the send button. And if she doesn't register any objection, ding, send.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading the task check. Can you tell me what was on the message again?
Yeah, basically, to Das, not familiar with the process. Why does the testing need to be done privately?
Okay. And is he showing that to her?
Yeah, basically, just turning it towards her, just sort of tilting the head about like,
Okay.
and hovering his finger over send.
She nods grudgingly.
Yep, I will send that.
Okay. I'm guessing the answer is basically the stuff that we've got in the discussion channel of like it may change the results and potential confidentiality stuff, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they could, if there is something off with them, they could certainly try to distract from that while they're in the room. If we're just posing it as a security concern.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're security bots, so they are obviously armed and dangerous. But
yeah,
indeed. Yeah. I think Das would definitely like try and come up with some good stuff of several reasons, so that you can't just like shoot down one and they're all gone.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, if they are sentient, if they are sapient, then it's a confidentiality thing. It's all of that. It's a change in the results. And if they aren't, then it's still not trying not to change the results.
Yeah.
But also then it doesn't actually matter. But we don't know whether it matters, so we have to assume that it does.
Yeah.
Like they could be in the next room over. That's fine. Like we don't need them.
Yeah.
But...
And while we are while we are waiting on the response, right after Percy hits send, like the messenger app closes and it brings up, let's say, the Artemis Black News.
I need to watch that.
and then just oh hey yeah, did you see that thing about Irigage? They're making first contact with the new sapient life forms.
So I haven't been paying attention to that.
Yeah, just thought it's neat. Yeah, one of the other crew wanted to go see actually. Super exciting. Some kind of dextrock memory correctly was like what they call it, crystalline or something.
Twiggy.
Twiggy. Okay, yeah. Yeah, some kind of like twiggy, almost tree-like sapient life forms. Yeah, weird. Oh, hey, reply.
Yeah, Das types quick.
Yeah, I know. I was mostly just taking the opportunity to very point out that hey, yeah, more sapient life.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. So,
While he's reading it, she actually, Sir, are you? That was very direct non sequitur, or direct tangent. I don't mean human. I just mean organic. They're not living flesh and blood.
Okay, so first of all,
not get hung up on technicalities of human.
It's not a technicality. Organic versus non-organic.
I mean, we could get caught up all day discussing the technicalities of at what point life is alien enough that it doesn't that it counts it like at what point life is alien enough that it counts as more different than androids that are designed to be similar and think similarly enough to integrate with our society. But not what you're here for. Because sort of shrugs. And then okay, out of character, if anyone has advice on how to word like all the stuff that we were saying before, kind of sounds like it's in case they're bad, in case the people are bad. Which, if you have any advice on how a softer way to say that to one of the people, I would appreciate that. Because, like, okay, well, if you're abusing them, or if they're hiding something from you, or if you're influencing the results.
Yeah, I mean, I think Das might have also included some stuff of we might be looking for very subtle responses that you could influence unintentionally.
Yeah.
To try and give you those angles, like she'd probably like give you as many angles as she can that are like reasonable. Like she's not going to put nonsense in there, but all the angles that make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, in that case, I think I might phrase it as I think the angle that I might try to push is, or not push, but like the angle I might focus on is that it's probably fairly subtle stuff that we're going to be looking for, to the point where having like people that they know versus just people that they don't really know might influence the responses, and more importantly, like they were worried about one of the Kevins who was kind of buggy anyway. We have an excellent program who might be able to help. We're just ruling this out as a we're ruling out possibilities for what it might be that's up with him so that we can see if we can help. And this is just one possibility. It's easier for us to get a definite yes or no this way. And it is, I will emphasize again, 5 minutes. That's clarified. It's definitely just 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, Das would have clarified however long it is likely to take.
Yeah, it's a few minutes. It shouldn't take take more than an hour. Should take more than a few minutes. You know.
Okay. I thought before it was like 5 minutes. I didn't realize it was more than up to an hour.
No, that was those were my old rules of like this is how you do it according to very strict rules, and I've thrown out the strict rules.
Yeah. I imagine that we would probably just need to like get initial readings and stuff, and then like they can be in there while the analysis or whatever is happening.
These are our androids. How do we know? How can we be sure that you're not going to do something to them? You're worried about us influencing them, but you're giving me no assurances that you're not influencing them.
You know what? That's fair. How about a video feed into them?
What did he say? How about a what?
A video feed.
I think the recording, perhaps.
Video feed. Yeah, that's okay.
Live video feed or delayed video feed?
She's assuming live right now.
Yeah, she's assuming live. I'm not going to say anything either way. I'm thinking probably live, but I'm not going to say anything to clarify that either way. And hey, one other thing.
We could do a sneaky one and just run it slightly slower so that it just, builds up a delay. To where it's not obvious there's a delay.
Yeah, that aside, I'm sorry, give me just a second to get back at the headspace.
I'm overthinking it still.
Yeah, like Percy will also say, and hey, I get that this is asking for a lot of trust from a new employer about even if you see them as just androids, still an important part of your work. So, big deal. Percy actually grabs a bit of let's shoot paper, why not? And scribbles out one favour from Percy and goes, there, I know it's not any kind of material compensation, but in the future, you hand me this, say, I need you to X, and if it's within my power, then I will do my best to make it happen.
She folded up, little frown. Not asking for any compensation, sir. I
know
just
you're
want
not.
to protect
I'm offering
our own investment.
I understand, but I know you're not asking for compensation, but I'm offering you this anyway as a show of goodwill because we're asking for goodwill from you.
Thank you, and I'm sorry I've made a fuss of this.
Not a problem. If someone wanted to tamper with my guns, they would be getting at least this kind of grilling. Frankly, it just shows that you take care of your equipment if you want to view it that way.
Buckets of bolts and circuit boards they might be, but there are bolts and circuit boards.
Yeah, no, I know the feeling. Huh. Hey, do you do target shooting as a hobby by any chance?
He has DD target shooting?
Yeah, no, just like it's
You're trying to change the subject, sir, and it is working.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, as my, again, I know the feeling. It's my piles of metal and gun oil. Would you like to come see some of them in action? I can set us up some holo targets.
Close range or long range?
Take your fancy.
He's got this great simulation that we've been working on.
No.
I'll put a hole through a dime at 2,500. What can you do?
Well, the first thing that I would like to do is see that happen. After that, we'll see.
Double or nothing? And she holds up the folded piece of paper.
Yeah, bet.
Deal. She holds her hand out to shake.
Go, shake. See you at the it's down by the investigative directions. See you there in like 15 minutes.
I'll be waiting.
Yep, just so you can, get your kit ready, psych yourself up, decide if that's too big a boast and you want to reconsider. I won't hold that against you. But he's smiling in a way that obviously shows
with a second favor.
See you there then.
Alright. Just to be clear, Percy's not taking her to the sniper range right now, right? This was see there to observe the Kevins, right?
I assumed that the Kevins wouldn't be getting worked on for a while, and that we had
Oh, okay.
I bet to go to the sniper range.
She wants like a real sniper range. She, if you try to present the holographic, she's impressed by the tech, but she wants the feel and the wind. She wants the real experience.
Understandable. Okay. I thought I'd make it clear that I was talking about the whole thing with the I can set us up some holo targets and see in 15 because we're not 15 minutes away.
Gotcha.
But yeah, soon. Soon. Rephrase it to we're doing this soon.
Okay. Yeah. She wasn't looking for a competition right now. This was for her. It was a we'll end up doing this, and it was kind of Percy rolled a high enough notice check. This was kind of a an implicit concession that regardless of what happens with the Kevins, she still intends to be around later on for this contest.
I did catch that, and I appreciate it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Percy's actually walked off with a little bit of a spring in his step because, these are his people.
Yeah.
The ones are his people, but these are his people too.
Okay. Let's go. Let's hold on to the sniping contest.
Like when was the last time any of you said shooting contest or no balls? Never, right?
Yeah. And let's explore the Kevins. So you bring them around. We've got a box set up for you. How do you want to approach? I know you said you want to take the direct approach, but is it? Are you going to try and lead into it? Are you going to explain anything to them? Set the scene for me.
Well, I mean, I guess kind of allowing Libra to take the lead if they want. But well,
I assumed Libra would just want to be here to chill, but you know.
I mean, basically running it by Libra, but I would say we're pretty much up front. We're testing for sapience to them.
See, I would actually tend to disagree. I would phrase it as just like a sort of personality assessment, but also we heard that they have like the others mentioned that they have some that one of the Kevins has some bugs. So we're doing some scans on both of them to see if there's anything we can do to help.
Oh wait, are we still? I guess are we doing the recording, the feed?
Live feed, yeah. One of them doesn't have anything going on. That'll be the baseline. The other one does have some stuff going on. We'll see what's different. We'll see if we can help.
Yeah, think of it like a physical, and and a mental assessment. What do you call it?
Psychological.
Psychological assessment. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually probably quite a novel experience for them because I've now been to the quote-unquote doctors. Basically, like we will tell them afterwards, obviously, that it was a test for sapience. But yeah, just like basically getting a better feel for you two. Also seeing if there's any difference. Like we might be assessing some cues to the conversation. Yeah, but yeah, talk basically. While Das is doing checking scans and stuff. Libra is here as head of security.
Okay. And I didn't catch it. Was Libra being asked to take the lead on it, or was she asked for how she wants to approach it?
Libra
consulted.
Yeah, Libra is welcome to take the lead if she would like. Otherwise, we'll consult with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
She does not want to take the lead. This is
Doug's fine with taking the lead and being blunt about it.
You take the lead.
Okay.
I'm joking.
She does for her own, like she'll express that if it was her, she would prefer a direct approach, and that's an approach that she would recommend. But if either of those androids are sapient, either or both of them, if they are sapient, they clearly have a different personality than she does.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no one-size-fits-all approach, obviously, but since we don't have a baseline for them.
And are you including Luna?
Ooh, that's a thought, actually. That is a thought.
I think maybe we'll get Luna involved later.
Yeah, down the line, I think, for Luna.
Okay.
And if Doug is running the assessment and Percy is actually going to... Okay, Percy is not just going to stay outside. Percy is actually going to stay with... what was her name, sorry?
Thorn. Nyx Thorn. She goes by Nyx.
Nyx, yeah. Yeah, Percy's gonna stay with Nyx then.
Okay.
Actually, can we get their names and stuff pinned somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the new security I have. But yeah, Percy is actually Percy's gonna offer to watch the feed with Nyx.
Hang on real quick. Okay, there you go. Oops, there's only one S in Nissa. All right, then it is still a program or notice check with intelligence or wisdom.
Okay. Also, Dex, can Percy offered to Nissa to, hey, do you want me to watch the feed with you?
Oh yeah, yeah. She's fine with that.
Sure.
I'd have a +1 on notice for that. What was the difficulty? Do I know? Was it 8?
The difficulty is that's the program.
Yeah, int program is an option, right?
It is, yes. I am genuinely giving them a physical evaluation
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But
Can we roll both?
Does that count as help?
No. I'd like to have just one roll. The physical evaluation. There's. If you were able to take them apart, there may be physical differences, but that doesn't seem too likely of an option right now.
yeah, like right now we're just talking about like I'm just thinking kind of like medical physical almost. So yes, not taking them apart.
Okay.
Because until we know otherwise, we're treating them as people.
Yeah. There is one thing that I believe Libra has expressed to you, and that is that it actually causes mental anguish to have parts disabled and removed and all that. So
Yeah. So that's obviously Douglas is not doing that at this stage.
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Non-sapient androids don't experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if this shows that they're non-sapient, then we could potentially do that to the one that's
Yeah, but we could do that
funny.
later.
But this is the first step because we don't want to do that if they are.
Yeah. I mean, technically, it's a very definitive test, but also, you know, if it shows anything, then that means that we've just performed an act of cruelty on a sapient being. So.
Indeed.
And you asked the difficulty because you've got both Luna and Libra is willing to openly talk to you about her sapience. I will give you the difficulties. It's easier for physical model Adas than it is for social models, and despite these being combat androids, they are social models. Physical is 6, just a flat difficulty of 6. Social models are 6 plus their charisma modifier. Now, obviously, that is just kind of a whatever I decide it to be for an NPC. This was designed for detecting PC androids.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is supposed to be more difficult to suss out the sapient nature of a social model because they've got, as a baseline, they've got better programming on how to look and act human. Whereas physical models basically just get enough to pass by on outskirts without any kind of directed inspection.
If you want to play the chameleon more, and that was the other thing is they also get they can build to where they're even harder to detect.
Yeah. Oh no, an entire 6 plus charisma. Das, do you think you can beat 6 plus charisma with an program?
I mean, I'm willing to roll my notice intelligence.
That is a noise of joy. Maybe we'll notice intelligence afterwards to see if it's even okay.
I'll let you both roll. Go ahead.
All right, let's just go ahead and get Das. Let's just do Das for now.
Is this hacking?
It is not hacking.
It's social engineering.
Can I get even more dice? 16.
I mean, you have a 16. How many more dice do you want?
Meow can go ahead and roll Doug's notice.
I could have had a 17. That's pretty good as well.
Oh, see?
Okay.
Would have been fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have +7 charisma modifier. You don't know.
I have a pretty good guess that they don't.
Yeah, I extremely doubt it.
I trust that guess. If not, then we're in trouble.
Indeed. Yeah. Like
So-
if a combat android has a +7 charisma,
yeah,
what's their dex?
0. They spiked into charisma.
plus a million.
No, it's 0. They spiked into charisma, obviously.
Ah, right, of course.
Let's also
Yeah, don't be
get a wisdom notice from Percy. Actually, I'm gonna make this an intelligence notice. I'm sorry.
That's good.
I do find it peculiar that I would have assumed that they were physical androids.
Yeah, Percy's honestly not really paying much attention to the he's watching obviously, but he's also kind of keeping an eye on Nissa, kind of.
Okay. I'm gonna start off with Percy outside.
Okay.
And in kind of paying more attention, you notice that there's a little bit of a constant electronic communication between K7 and K11.
Okay.
That just comes up in the corner of your panspectral optics.
Interesting.
Inside the inquiry, might even call it an inquisition.
Are any of us Spanish?
Nobody would expect it.
True. Especially since main protocol doesn't exist, it's even more unexpected.
None of the probing questions or the interactions designed to catch out sapient android responses as opposed to what you expect from a well-programmed android give you any indication that either of them are sapient.
I'm thinking of another possibility now, though.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Probably not, because what I'm thinking is based off of something from elsewhere.
Would still be curious to know what you're thinking, if it's not spoilers or anything.
I don't know if it's as spoilers, but kind of.
I don't think it is.
Okay. About the there was some special androids that had that whole like their own little network.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. I'm wondering whether it's possible that like one of them is sapient but is mirroring the other one to avoid detection.
I didn't think about that, but I also don't.
You're right. We weren't thinking about the same thing.
Could be both.
We weren't thinking the same thing, but for a completely different reason than you thought.
What were they called? Oh, did they have a special name? I forget.
Androids.
Are you thinking the Turing model, or not Turing model, the Turing type?
No, I was thinking of the ones that were on Canagiris. That was the whole little army of them that had like this weird plan.
Oh, right.
Those had a lot of communication between each other.
I will say that that's not uncommon for combat-linked androids, especially from the same, unit or ideally, combat-linked androids came from the same factory and have that internal link embedded.
And how often? I guess actually also how often are social models combat androids?
Not very often. They're more. Yeah. It's not. It's not impossible. It's not.
Not unheard of.
Yeah, not unheard of. That's what I'm looking for. But they're usually for special needs. Like infiltration combat androids
or bodyguards.
Or bodyguards, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, infiltration and bodyguards pretty much fits the Void Scorpion's MO.
Yeah.
No, or infiltration leading bodyguards fits the MO.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know what other conclusions to draw there.
Yeah, I think.
I feel like we're pretty confident they're not sapient, at least, unless Percy's theory is a thing. But I feel like that's probably not the case.
That's more viral theory than Percy's theory. I'll be real with you.
Yeah, that seems a little more out there as a possibility.
I think then we proceed as if they're not, and maybe revisit it in the future if we have reason to revisit it. But by and large, proceed as if they're not.
All right. Well, I mean, we're still going to probably treat them relatively well.
Oh yeah,
just in case.
Yeah, just in case one of them's just hiding it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hey, this is genuinely the first step in trying to figure out what bug it is that one of them has. K11, right?
I'm satisfied for now.
Yeah, same.
Well, if the reason that one of them needs more, the K11 needs more time charging and maintenance and occasional spare
running
part.
more.
If that comes up, he will simply explain it as he has endured different and more stresses than K7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, you know what? We should maybe actually just outright say that, hey, if you like, if either of you have any extra needs, like more parts or whatever, then feel free to say it.
K11,
Like,
thanks
obviously,
you.
I can't say that, but someone say it. Someone say it. I'm not there.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No, that's
Yeah,
that's fine.
Maybe explain.
Yeah, if you need
Do we
extra
explain
maintenance, we got the facilities here.
Do we explain after the fact what we were going for, or?
Yeah, are
Oh,
you telling them?
Yeah. No, I thought that's what we're saying. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I guess I never said in character, but yeah, no, we're
Yeah, just like
making sure you ain't sapient if we're doing maintenance. That makes a world of difference.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you did state that was the plan. I just want to make sure that was still the plan.
yeah.
And on that, both Kevins say that it would be ideal if they were simply provided the resources and they will maintain themselves, as they know their internals more intimately and immediately than you, and it would take far too long to understand the complexities of internal android structure.
I mean, it is probably something that Douglas needs to
Yeah.
brush up on. But
Yeah.
Almost certainly. Like, Doug knows that he can repair androids. It's
yeah, it's not outside of something he's done, but yeah, if it comes to, like, taking it apart and putting it back together, that's probably a whole different thing. Unless you're saying that I am fine with being able to do that for non-sapient, non-ADAS.
No, I don't. I may have missed part of that. Okay. I think Doug would feel pretty confident with his current knowledge in repairing non-sapient ADAS. Right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's like I'm pretty confident about it, but I guess we'll do what you want to do.
Thank you. Your trust and confidence in our unit is appreciated.
I don't know if I should be suspicious or not. On one hand, I got a 12.
You have no way of knowing you got a 12.
Yeah. On the other hand, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if anything weird was happening, Das would have caught it. Most people cannot hope to beat a 16 on double sixes.
Well, that's like a +7. Anyways, all right, yeah. Well,
yeah, you don't go up against Das and win. Not on programming.
Yeah. Honestly, I think, like, so
we'll see how this develops.
No, that's a tangent. I'll let me check now.
Look, and who knows? They might die in combat first time out.
I doubt it. Look, if they die in combat, then I want my money back.
K11 just has a breakdown right there as soon as combat starts. Please inject more spare parts. Okay. Well, Nyx seemed tense as the questioning was going on, but is relieved that her androids have not been taken apart. And she expresses a grudging appreciation for how well they were treated despite the interrogation. No, not exactly an interrogation, but she still calls it that.
Yeah, that's fair. She has feelings about it. Yeah, just Percy sort of shrugs. Don't want to mess up your tools of the trade. It's like I said earlier.
All right, and are y'all satisfied with that, or is there any more to do to the scene?
for now, I think we're satisfied with that. We may be open
Yeah.
to topic in the future, but for now, I think we're satisfied.
I'm satisfied for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I got my eyes on them.
I don't look. I doubt with all things you have to do. I doubt you can keep your eyes on them closer than Libra has hard eyes on them.
Fair enough. Yeah, imagine after Doug's got back from his whole outing, he's been back at 100% working, getting the shit back together.
Okay. I have a question for you guys.
Acceptable.
Which of the non-mercenary teams did you hire? I know you hired in from El Rada.
Yeah.
I apparently didn't write down the other one.
Did we hire another one?
We were talking about
the women, the
Julia.
Ah, yes, Julia.
Yeah, we were talking about Julia Cross. I don't know if we went through with that.
I thought there was some hemming and hawing because of the delicate and dangerous situations, high-profile starship, and thrive in high-risk environments. Not feeling like it fit the Raza somehow. But to be fair, you guys haven't done too much in that vein. I know that you had basically decided against a body second of Hamlet because one of her things was that Raza has the strongest human captain ever.
And not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. No,
maybe we still do. Except we don't really have a captain anymore right now.
Yeah, but we lead by committee.
That's a whole,
yeah.
headless snake situation we have going on. Don't worry about it.
Uh-huh.
The council.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a headless snake situation if the neck hole was also surrounded in several sets of fangs. I'm just like, I'm kind of thrashing a bit wildly.
Okay, this is getting very weird.
I disagree. The metaphor still makes sense.
The metaphor can make sense and still be weird.
Headless Hydra.
That feels like an oxymoron.
With fangs for its neck. Alright.
Oh, okay.
I'll re-listen to that part of the stream and see if I can pull that back out. That was my bad. I thought I wrote it down somewhere. Apparently I did not. But was hoping someone would just remember off the top of their head. Not your responsibility there. All right, so the Kevins have turned out to be normal combat androids. Nyx is satisfied with how that went and is going to hold Percy up on a sniping contest.
I'm not entirely convinced that she knows who she's messing with, but yeah, sure, let's go with that.
That'd be great when you lose.
Yep.
To be fair, sniping is very different from combat.
True.
Sniping is calm and composed. Combat is a chaotic mess, represented by the swinginess of a d20.
Yeah, yep.
Skill check versus.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I know I have thought about that before. Yeah, makes sense.
I am, let me remind you, still rolling that at a +5.
Yes, yeah.
Just for the doubters.
That's when we find out that this is actually like a D3.
Well, if it's a D3, they're one already.
D3, like 3 dice?
No, G3. No, G3.
Oh, G.
Like the rank for the NPC.
Gotcha. All right. I think we're ready to go meet with Cassian, yeah?
Yeah, but we'll probably go take that in the session.
You said it could probably what?
I said we've probably got time for this in the session.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let's see. Scroll back up to that because apparently, yeah, this was written quite a long time ago. We have had some deviations. Okay. So, your meeting with Cassian will be in the consequences of at least getting everyone in trouble box. It occurs in a similar fashion to what you're used to. You drive to a house, you linger there for some time, and then a car picks you up. It's Charlotte and a driver, and I do need to know who's going there because, as you've already identified, Charlotte is a Medicine.
Yeah, I'll go.
What's the meeting about? Can't remember.
This is a meeting about the information you asked him to get you some time ago.
About Ultima, which didn't we already get that from?
Ultima, but also the
No, not on Audra.
Wait, on the ever so important info drive that we've lost and would absolutely revolutionize the tactical game.
Oh, right, yeah, that we definitely didn't find.
I mean, technically, we didn't find.
Of course,
the
we didn't
one
find
we
it.
had. I think. Like, we found a different one.
Oh, was it a different one?
I think so.
All indications point to that drive that Das found in her little hidey hole was not what was salvaged off of the Raza.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like that drive, right, was sealed in the box that Das stole. When it came out of the box, it went into Das's hidey space. And it only left that space recently after I went back into memories. I don't think that was ever installed in the ship, that instance. So there must be another one that was what got salvaged.
Yep. So, I mean, you've lost one reason for getting this information. You wanted the info drive, you've got it. You've lost that reason.
I would argue that much like how we don't want him to know that we have a teleporter on staff unless it becomes absolutely necessary to, just so that we can keep up an aura of mystique and not have anybody know all of our cards that we can play. Similarly, I think we don't necessarily want him knowing that we have an info drive so that we can get a second info drive and he thinks we only have one.
Yes.
Is Kana going? I've got all the rest of the PCs there.
For the immediate.
Go on, sorry.
For the immediate reason that we don't want him knowing. I don't think Vacant can go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can cloak well enough to get past a dedicated Meta Scion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are you taking any of
your uniform?
Plus your
True.
uniform.
Anyone with any know would just immediately give it away.
Do you take any of your NPCs?
Doesn't seem like an NPC type of meeting, does it?
Yeah, I feel like we are the security. We are whatever security we need, and if like we bring anyone else, it's just going to seem like we're suspicious or whatever. When we are totally friends with Cassian, don't worry about it. It's all good, guys. We definitely aren't going behind his back and doing business with his daughter. That sounds so bad. Now, can we excise after the record?
I thought you were going to say we are the NPCs this time around. But yeah, definitely ping Kana if y'all need the quick getaway, though.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to put Cassian over here. And Zoe. in Raza colors, but that's at least her portrait.
Huh.
And you quickly discover that yes, this meeting is going to be with both Cassian and Zoe. Um,
What is she trying to finagle? I know she's trying to finagle something. I just don't know what exactly.
are you asking that based on what you already know, or are you just kind of theorizing?
Yes.
Okay.
Jokes and vague speculation aside, Dex, can you remind us briefly of the mission that she asked us to try and persuade our way onto?
Yeah, she wants you to surreptitiously ask about, find a way to ask about the Svarog project.
Okay.
At make sure I got the station name right. Yeah, I'll type it up in just a second here.
I remember how it's spelled. SVAROG.
Yes, you got it.
It's somewhere in Discord.
um. Sorry, I organized this very strangely and I typed way too much. I'm just gonna do a search for Svarog.
It's the discussion channel. I just replied to it.
No, I'm looking for in my notes, but thank you. There we go. There we go. Okay. Svarog at Velas Station is what she wants you to ask about. She has said that she, basically you're smart enough to figure out how to ask this and try and get him to give you the job, and don't implicate her in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And you meet Cassian in at a nice marble table in his expansive garden, as you have in the past, with lots of really good sight lines from various security stations around his compound, of course.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. We're not starting shit. We're not starting anything he didn't start. Look, we don't start fights, we end them. As it has
we don't start things.
Yeah, as it always has been, so shall it be.
And once you're seated, there's refreshments, finger sandwiches, hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, the light food kind of stuff, and also drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic.
Yep.
And once you're settled there, then you see him emerge from his estate, about 100 yards, 150 yards off. And he holds the door open for Zoe. Closes behind them, and they both walk up. Zoe looks very professional. Quite a contrast from seeing her in a towel. And she looks all the part like a mini female Cassian. Red hair blowing behind her in a nice suit. I'll have to ask you about that one later because I don't get it.
They look similar, but one's red and one's green.
Oh no. Okay. I think Zoe might actually be taller too. Oh, that would mess it up though.
Wrong. Yeah, is Zoe
Yeah,
older?
yeah. Believe Zoe's a little bit
yeah.
older, yes.
Glorious.
All right.
Yeah. Anyways,
He greets you and says that his daughter has expressed an interest in the other side of political and city, political and social management, and she will be here observing us.
honestly, a little bit honored that we are trustworthy enough to bring your daughter to do other side business.
After Elise just walked right up to her last time, it seems I could no longer shield my daughter from most insistent. So involving her is protecting her. He is referring to the last time,
He knows of, yeah.
yeah. Does not seem to be referring to
Yeah, I
the
got that.
sauna. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like underage
It's
drinking.
like after last time, and it's like, yes, last
Yeah.
time that you
Yeah.
know of.
It's like underage drinking. Do it at home with your parents, like slightly underage drinking. Do it at home with your parents so that you can be safe rather than going out and experimenting yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And
Or so I hear.
yeah, back up here. Cassian
Mhm.
tells you that he has intelligence on the infra drive that was salvaged. And says that it has been taken to Bullion Station in the heart of Ashley. Hang on. Let me double check this real quick. Yes. Okay. Just making sure. I have it in 3 separate sections. I have all the details. I have what one source of information knows, and I have what Cassian knows. So. Or I have what Cassian knows in addition, or what he's offering. So it's like, it's just weird.
Yeah,
I made this weird for myself.
That's fair. I'll be near, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. So yeah, he describes a station, a hidden Union research station, in the heart of Ashley, which is the Union headquarters system. Inside an asteroid somewhere in the clouds of Fliff. The clouds of Fliff are, well, the asteroid field that is so thick it rivals the graveyard. Outside, in orbit around Ashley, the sun. So thick that it sometimes looks like clouds chasing across the sky, or so they say. Maybe something to do with the heavy industrial smog of Lif also. It is, as he describes, Union's most elusive research station that he believes is, or his information believes, is only activated in part or in full for important or big famous projects. And following the money suggested a recent surge in activity and security. And what little detail could be derived from that suggests equipment related to spike drive research. What he has... Oh, go ahead.
So there's spike drive research, very high money, very high security, happening in a place that they only activate for their high priority research round about the time that the spike drive was salvaged, or the infra drive was salvaged from our ship.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds pretty promising. That sounds pretty promising.
What he has is, in the intel, coordinates to a Union ship that was waylaid by pirates in Zenthra 2 weeks ago. Union security protocols will have destroyed any sensitive info. Dash is familiar with the Caliburn protocol. And the pirates made off with the valuable cargo, but what they took matches the trade profile of ships heading to Buyan. You should be able to mimic the ship ID to fool Buyan's sensor range IFF. Just don't get close enough for visual identification. As if you didn't need more, the forward cryptic project leak I identified for this is multi-dimensional gravity recursion.
Yep.
Multi-dimensional. Give me a second. Where is it?
You know what forwards that sounds like to me.
Percy is doing his best not to look concerned. His best is not fantastic, but he's doing his best not to look concerned. Multi-dimensional multi-dimensional what, sorry?
Multi-dimensional gravity recursion.
MDG. Okay.
I will remind that for my setting, metaspace is multi-dimensional. As in like 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 27.
Yeah.
I know what that sounds like to me. It's still 4 words. Infra drive. Maybe it's only 2, but twice.
Yeah. I am more concerned about the possibility that this is I'm more concerned about the possibility that this is going to poke holes that entities can come through. And I do wonder if now is the time for us to share that with Cassian, just because we wanted to like spread the information about entities to disseminate, didn't we? We discussed that before.
There was some hesitation with sharing that with Cassian before. Have you overcome that?
I mostly don't remember it.
Okay.
Yeah, someone jog my memory. Nobody's jogging my memory. Do we have hesitation?
I don't know. I think there was definitely some of the data that we were not disclosing to anyone.
Absolutely. The condensing thing, was it? But definitely not giving anyone.
Yeah, the condenser data were definitely not.
Yeah,
I think
I think the rest, like,
I think at the time we didn't want to lean
for free, but
I also didn't want to lean too heavily on Cassian early on, but it's probably fine now that we're getting more involved.
Yeah.
Drop that.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, yes, condenser data is probably going to be forever moldering in our archives.
It's going to be never, yes. Yeah, I do wonder if Yeah. I do wonder if we just straight up offer him the entities data and go, hey, can you like disseminate this? We have seen evidence that it's a thing that is happening. Disseminate this and also see if you can find out anything more about it for us in exchange.
Okay.
Like I'm just throwing the idea out there. How do we feel about that?
Hold off on that. You can all think about it. Hold off on that. I do want to finish up with what he's presenting to you.
Okay, yeah, no, I was thinking that may be part of this conversation because he had
Unless you want to interrupt him.
I went, oh shit.
Yeah,
no, that's fine. Actually, do we want to interrupt him because just
Yeah, if you want to interrupt him, that's absolutely fine. He's ready to move on to the part where he tells you what assets he is bringing to the table to assist you in this.
Okay, I expect it to be information. But yeah, if you like, would Cassian react to Percy having a sort of oh shit look when he mentions the multidimensional stuff that research that are doing?
Nope.
Okay, then you can move on.
All right.
Cassian will be off writing.
So the asset he has in play is an elite team acting as a duplicate equipment delivery. You can He says to meet up with them at Holau. There will be no weapons or armor going in, but there's an armory stash in the station. You'll have secure clothing with a bubble seal mod, laser rifles, laser pistols, combat shotguns, and assault rifles. And there's also room for them to squirrel away 6 more encumbrance of weapons or ammo that they're informed of in advance. It's not something that you can bring to them and they can get it in. It would just be like you telling him, here, what else you want.
Mm-hmm.
The inside contacts can get you into the security center, but it will be guarded. And the additional intel that he provides is that Union is throwing massive amounts of resources into reverse engineering a pre-tech infra drive. So he actually has that full line of intel all from his own work.
Okay.
So you've got 2 options. One is just the information that came with the intel that you could just use the IFF, the other ship, or you can use his asset.
Okay. So basically, his asset could get us in as far as the security center, where we can arm ourselves plus 6 bulk of other equipment, or there's a ship that we could spoof the sensors off to get us close.
Yeah. Or whatever other cockamamie plan you come up with.
Oh yeah, no,
that's not off the table.
Believe me, I'm already cooking. Yeah, I do think that off the top of my head, using Cassian's assets, like out of character, using Cassian's assets makes more sense, I think. But like, we are putting ourselves a little bit further into his good graces, but he's offering it, and so we're not going to say no. And like, it means that we're inside rather than just close. Like, let's think about this. Why would we genuinely, why would we want to spoof the ship and get our own ship close rather than getting to go with the security team inside?
Having a getaway vehicle.
Okay, what's your teleport range like?
Far enough.
Is it though? Is it?
Like, how far away could we leave a rendezvous vehicle, and you can get us there?
Your face is real big.
Yeah. Yokin's real strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I totally opened up the wrong thing when I was looking for range.
Oops.
I believe it's 10,000 kilometers at level 3.
Yeah.
It might be adequate.
Okay.
So I will.
mean, like,
it's not like
however,
super
going
far
back
away
to
in
the ship,
space, but
I think going back to the ship, it could be anywhere though. Anywhere in the system.
Okay. Interesting.
I have to go back to the pin again.
Ionics. Translocation.
Although, that said,
Yeah, 1,000 kilometers.
how important then do we consider it that, because like obviously I was making a big deal earlier out of, oh, don't let Cassian know we have a teleporter unless we have to. Do we do we then want to bring the Raza close anyway? Because that's another benefit I hadn't thought of. We bring the Raza close anyway, using the spoof disguise thing that he mentioned, because he's not going to be watching exactly how we make a getaway. We bring the spoof Raza close as a spoof disguise thing anyway, so that it looks like that's how we escaped. Not tipping off to the existence of us having a teleporter. Rather than like leaving the Raza here, for example. I'm not saying we would leave it literally here, but you get my point.
I don't think that getting into the armory is like, if teleportation can be used, getting into the armory doesn't matter to us.
Well, you have to be able to see and have a clear line to it if you've not been there, right?
Yeah, well, we get there the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
The first time, and then we can just bounce back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is nice, but like we still need to get in the armory once, so it'd be nice to have his assets to help us get in there. Also means that we have gear inside there. Like I'm not saying we take
I
the
was
whole
gonna say
place by
we
storm.
don't.
Go on.
I was gonna say getting our weapons onto their ship isn't a problem as long as we remain in the. I have received.
You have. I pinned the revision. And you were right. The ship teleport. I said I think I'd even like to remove the range restriction.
Okay.
I
So yeah,
don't know if that stuck, but I think it did.
Yeah.
I think
So
it
you-
did.
yeah.
But I think it was just to the ship, not from the ship.
Yes.
Yeah. So you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
So as long as we get it within your teleport range, like hypothetically speaking, we bring the ship within your teleport range, you can blip back and forth to equip us. We send the ship starting to move away, and when we're done here, we all blip out to the ship.
exactly.
Yeah. Not that I'm saying that is what we should do, because I would like for, like, call me paranoid. I would like for it to look like we don't have a teleporter as best we can. You know?
I mean, we can explain things away as having like a holding capacity or something. Cyborg can hold weapons just as well as a teleporter can, and Cyborg
Yeah.
is much more prominent.
Yeah. No, I mean more like we don't want the ship to already be flying away before we leave. And that's why I think that using Cassian's Gambit, so that you recognize, hey, yeah, no, that a ship faking being that ship was there at round about the time that we were doing that. Cassian goes, ah, right, that's how they got in. Yeah, huh. How much?
Could always make a second drive-by.
Yeah, Dix. How
Mhm.
much do we know, or how much can we find out about the facility itself? I assume we don't know much of anything.
The facility. It's large. It. Let's see. You're. Well, let me just have you make a roll. You get this. You get the intel that Cassian has, and so you can make your own analysis of it. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll your analysis into what he's got. So, let's just do a roll real quick. See, do I have sheet set up for Cassian? I don't. Not really. This will work though. So
Yeah.
Cassian's got effective +5 on this. And it would be either an int admin or a wisdom lead.
Okay.
Anybody beat a +5 for that?
I'm garbage at both those. Anybody?
Alright, what were the checks?
I don't think any of us could
Yeah,
beat a
but-
+5.
And admin was lead.
Yeah, lead
Yeah,
and admin aren't really your strong suits. I'll just roll it for him.
Yeah. Well,
That
I
was-
also think even if people were focusing on that, they're not going to beat a +5.
That was
Yeah.
Like,
Magic
John-
can-
John could have
Like,
beat it. Probably.
That's
As a
his
literal
program is a
one-time.
+5.
Yeah. They
That's
can,
his program is a +5.
Kelsey's shoot is a +5. We could match it. We couldn't beat
Yeah.
it.
You basically you would need some special thing that lets you bypass the max skill thing
Yeah.
to beat
Yeah.
a +5.
I think the benefit that you guys have that Cassian doesn't is you may have extra dice or a reroll.
Yeah.
Yes.
So his is just 2d6 +5, whereas you might have a 2d6 +4 rolled twice to take the better. But that's not going to be good enough to get good numbers. It's just going to be good enough to give you max numbers. Bullion Station could could staff 80 or more security. It's based on intel, designed for 80 security, and certainly accommodations could be made for more.
Okay.
So you're looking at a heavy security presence. You know, it doesn't really matter whether it's 40 or 80 at that point. You're looking at a heavy security presence.
Yeah, well, look at enough that a straight up fight is probably not the play. Probably. Yeah. Oh.
And I'm going to add on to the teleporting with the ship things. Wildcana can get you onto the ship from anywhere.
She could get you back off from like 1,000 meters away. Or kilometers, sorry. Kilometers?
Huh?
Something like that. There's a range limit on how far she could teleport us to the station from the ship, basically.
Well, no, that's not the point I was going to make.
Sorry.
Is if you, I mean, I guess it kind of is. It is. If you want the station, the ship close enough that she can move things from it to the station, 10,000 kilometers is very, very short range for
Galactic.
yeah.
1,000 kilometers.
Is it only 1,000 kilometers? That's
only
why we
1,000
made it
kilometers.
unlimited for the ship, because that's not even enough to get off the planet in most cases.
Yep.
And I wanted it to be usable like that even at low level. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, 1,000 kilometers is basically, it's almost visual identification range.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not impossible for Shadow to get there with a lot of assistance from DAS on comms, and it might even be DAS making the rolls instead of Shadow, although that's that's what you hired her for.
Yeah. Who? That's a shadow.
Shadow. So it's not impossible,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
definitely going to take
exactly
rolls.
hired.
Hey, are we doing this? Are we? Is this like a heist we're planning for, like immediately?
Doesn't
Not
seem to be.
necessarily. If you don't want to
Okay.
use the blah 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 the ship that the pirates waylaid, if you don't want to use their IFF, their ship ID, then you don't really have a time limit.
Oh, that would
Okay.
that would be nice though, because it means that we can sneak the Raza close.
It does mean you can sneak the Raza. It gives you an avenue to get the Raza closer without having to make rolls.
That would be super nice. That would be super nice. Although at that point, that's like, if we're trying to bluff our way in, then that's basically changing us from stealth checks into bluff checks. And I know bluff isn't a skill exactly. And I feel like we actually have more in the way of ship flying stealth than we do bluffing.
That would still follow under Shadow's subterfuge.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that she can do it, but like we can help her less than we can with the stealth, you know?
Oh, I gotcha. Remember, aid checks don't have to be the same thing. You can assist somebody bluffing with by beating a wrench on the wall or something.
Yeah.
Maybe not that exact example, but
yeah. I'll be honest, I'm kind of chewing on the question of who we want to take in with us. Like, if we are sneaking in. Like, obviously I would want to be there. I imagine Doug and possibly Elise would want to be there. I'm thinking Nyx might be a good pick for this. Like, recon and infiltration.
Are we?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself.
If we're if we're wanting data, DAS will probably need to join us.
No, this is just the infodrive we're trying to steal back. We're not asking about the Project Svarog.
Just the physical object.
Yeah, just the physical object infodrive. As far as we know.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could still be useful to get through any security doors. Though I guess I could also just blow up any doors.
True, that is a bit more obvious. But yeah, let's. Sorry, you're right. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself.
I do think you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself. You have all this information, and it's not going to. It doesn't require you to decide how to proceed immediately.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cassian's team is in play, and they're what's the right word for it? Not infiltrated, embedded. They're embedded.
Yeah. So they're just ready for us when we need them, probably. Okay.
The only thing you've got a time limit on is the pirate ship because it might get further salvaged.
Yeah.
But even that's not, not something you have to decide how you're going to proceed this very instant.
Yeah, we can chew on it over the week. We can get Jacko's thoughts. Yeah, I think the only thing we need to do then is figure out how to float the idea of the Spiral project with Cassian. And what I'm thinking is, once we're done discussing the station with infodrive on it, I think after that, we'll probably just say something like, yeah, it's been like it's been good doing business with you. We'll be even more even more able to, even more useful for potential business opportunities once we have the infodrive back. Is there anything else in particular that you might need a particular skill set on? That's the best I've got. If anyone has anything better, please.
I was just gonna say is like just ask him if he has any information on the Spark project.
Oh, yeah,
it's like just continuing business, right?
Yeah.
That's the next thing to ask about.
Yeah, that's meant to be secret. I think. Is that meant to be secret? I think it's meant to be secret.
Well, no, it's only wanted us to bring it up.
Yeah, but she didn't. Like, how are we going to say that we knew about it if not Zoe told us? Which
make it up. We just heard some rumors about it.
He's going to fucking rip into his own house staff if we. See, I think.
Well, it's not his project. It's Union's, right?
No, I thought the Spiral project was him breaking in and stealing stuff, blowing up Union.
The Spiral project was the Union's name for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, the Svarog is a Union project. Cassian's involvement is to break in and blow it all up.
Burn it to the ground, basically.
To Meowkin's point, the fact that it is a project that exists out there means that there could be a leak that somebody else has picked up.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, I think I will tailor my approach along the lines of the usual. Once we have the infodrive, we'll be even better business partners, etc. And then go. Speaking of further business opportunities, actually, heard about something. Something about what was that again?
Borag?
No, that was. It wasn't quite that. It started with S. It was Svarog. Svarog project. Yes.
What have you heard about the Svarog project?
Just some stuff about you having some discontentment with it, and personally noticing a few more ships with a few more hard-boiled mercenary types milling around here. The hiring was great in town, by the way, but yeah, anything up with that we should know about?
I just want to be clear. Your Percy is referencing specifically Cassian being involved with this.
I don't know that I'd go with that approach.
Okay, fair.
I won't give you the opportunity to retract if you didn't intend that, but that would give him some eyebrow raise.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just say we've heard about it. Well, look.
All I was gonna say, why
would has ties?
Why would we tell him? Oh yeah, we've heard about this project that Union is doing. Doesn't matter. But we've heard about this project that Union is doing that you're not too happy with, and there's a lot more mercenary types around.
We want to go. I mean, you want to test the waters first. You throw the name out there first, and then you see how he reacts, and then you go from there.
His reaction is of interest. He clearly knows about the Svarog project. I mean, obviously, but he showed it.
The problem with that is that if we go, we've heard about the Svarog project. Ah, yes.
It's like that's I was kind of interesting. That's about, and also, and that's like I said, at least they have interest in that as a Union project, right?
Then continuing on from there sounds like we know more than we're saying, and we're just feeding him information bit by bit to get his reaction bit by bit, which just looks like we know that he knows something, and we're just waiting to see how he responds to it, which tell us him anyway that we know.
That's no different than what we were doing in the first place anyway, so I don't see
Right,
how
why
that's.
don't we be straightforward about it? Cassian's a warrior. I think he'll appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Viral. I think your this happens and this happens and this happens does include a lot of assumptions. I'm not trying to steer you away from putting it all on the table.
In that case, he could surmise that, but I feel like the initial approach, he's definitely going to surmise that.
Right. Yeah. That's the difference between the two.
I don't know, just the straightforward. I didn't think the straightforward approach was as blatant as you're making it sound like.
It sounded pretty blatant to me.
Huh.
You say you bring up the project and you suggest that he's hiring mercenaries.
That he has a problem with it, yeah.
Okay, how would you phrase it?
It sounds very blatant to me, then that's
okay.
I'm getting his reaction, yeah.
Okay, how would you phrase it then?
Like I said, I would just like say bring it up. We've heard some rumors about a Svarog project. Like I said, I don't want to speak for Elise, but like I said, Elise does have some Union ties in the background and has obviously had issues with a Union trying to kill Elise.
Okay, go on then.
So we do have an interest in what Union's up to, and I guess also with the Infodrive. But I would just start off like, yeah, we've heard some rumors about this Svarog project. What would we, do you know anything about that? We know it's a Union project, right? We can share that much and go from there. And, we could also roll to see how obvious we're being about it.
Yeah, that's also an option. You guys can absolutely tell me what you want to convey and then put it on a roll.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not great at being. I'll be honest. I'm not super great at being coy either.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I said what I wanted to convey, and I got disagreed with.
I
just didn't want. I only paused you there because it sounded like you were saying more than you had intended to say when you talked about it. And I apologize if that was overstepping.
I appreciate you stopping me before I do something rather than after.
Okay.
Like, I would rather stop in the first place rather than roll back,
Yeah. And I will say that for me as GMing, the assumption that if what you say is right, that he just says yeah and it is still giving him less immediate information than starting in with we heard you had some problems and or some issues with this.
Yeah,
because you can
I just have no idea how we continue the conversation from the Spiral Project, unless he spells everything, which I don't think he will.
At that point, if he does say yeah and at that point you say and we heard you had some problems with it. You parcel out the information.
You could, yeah.
It's just
at the very least, see how he reacts. If he says no, then then it's gonna be awkward if we keep prodding. If he says yes and
yeah. My thing with that is that it just feels kind of like if we keep prodding him with extra bits of information, then he knows we knew it all in the first place, and we're just trying to manipulate a response out of him. Yeah. I don't think he'll respond well to trying to have the response manipulated out of him.
That's also a possibility.
It just sounds like a negotiation thing, though. I feel like that'd be kind of pretty normal in negotiations.
But I've intervened enough. You tell me how you want to proceed with it.
Nope, go on.
I'd rather be coy with it, but I'm like I said, I'm not really. I'm not sure I can word it better, but yeah, I would just say it's like so yeah, we heard about this Svarog project. Do you have any information about that?
Okay, why don't we have Elise roll for you? She's talking, right?
I was thinking this.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Much better. I mean, I have a plus a plus 0. You know.
Yeah. All right, I'll go ahead and roll for her. I'll take the responsibility for any abysmal rolls.
Well, Elise does have the precog ability, right?
Someone said abysmal rolls.
That's not abysmal. That's
a 3 on the dice.
Go on, get out of business.
Yeah.
Do you think she would precog alternate outcome this, knowing that there is a meta-scion?
Oh,
That's
right, the
a
meta
question.
sounds.
Is Charlotte nearby?
Charlotte is always nearby.
Okay. It seems.
I want to say
seems
that I feel like
reasonable.
Elise would.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it's reasonable for people to know that Elise is a scion.
Even more than that, Jackal likes Elise pushing Cassian's buttons.
Yeah.
Well, and plus, I mean, at least it's precog, and it's not like something more like telekinetic or something. Like if it's telekinetic, that's one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Charlotte's able to make the distinction between precog and telekinetic, then at the very least, it's something internal.
If it's telekinesis, then we have more problems.
Like telepathic would also be an issue, but I feel like precog is like the
Yeah.
one discipline that wouldn't be an issue, or at least not an outright like threat, right?
So she does, and the interaction is immediately visible. Cassian appears to be receiving information and is alert, but he doesn't act anyway. It's just that Percy recognizes something happened. Cassian is paying attention. But she is able to present to him what passes for a reasonable explanation of what you know of Svara Project, which isn't much, and why you're interested in it. And Cassian responds, "Oh, yes. Hang on. Pyrrhus Station in Astos." Yeah, that's different than the information you have.
It is.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh,
Yeah,
unless he's fishing.
Uh,
Yeah, maybe we won't win this game.
maybe.
That or he's. What? Am I ever thinking it that maybe he's like planted false information for Zoe to find?
Doubtful. He thinks Zoe has no information about this. He wouldn't plant false information. He didn't think she was interested at all. Or he didn't think she was involved at all.
How did Zoe say how she got the information?
You know.
She had intimated that it was not direct. That she.
Yeah, my guess.
So it's more likely he's just lying to us about that.
My guess, or I think the smart money is on her friend, the one whose mum is meant to be the sacrifice on the project. Her friend having overheard something about it.
How do you want to react? He's referencing either a different project or a different station than Zoe gave you.
Yeah.
Was it a different system?
Different system, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh, was it?
I would.
I thought you said the same one.
Oh no, you're right. In orbit around Astos. Yes. It was the same system. So the only thing that's wrong here is the station name.
Yeah. Okay. Then I think we should probably choose one with, like, wrong station name. Station? Huh, that's weird. We had it was on such and such station name. Station.
Yeah, we'd heard rumors circulating around. Yeah, I would say rumors circulating around Vela Station. Yeah.
Yeah. He responds, "Well, there's no Vela station in orbit around Astos," and here Zoe does break in. No, Dad, it's Farag Project in Vela Station in Astos. And he looks a little bit surprised, to those of you that are keen to notice those things. Looks over her. No, it's not. And how do you even know about this?
Well, she can't blame us.
I mean,
Yep.
I almost wonder if this is. I almost wonder if we got played by Zoe more.
A little bit.
Why don't one of you roll me a wisdom notice check? Our favorite roll. I'm gonna have to change that up some, but wisdom notice it is for now.
Damn it.
That's what Percy's skill. I mean, it's Percy's skill. You know.
It is.
Percy's skill is shoot. This is him trying not to be bad at something else.
You rolled an 8, and normally
Yeah,
Zoe would be
+2.
better than this, but right now she's in panic mode.
Yeah.
And Percy recognizes that this is all slipping through her fingers, and she's panicking.
Mm.
And I think that's where we should leave the session.
Yeah, that would be a great time. Yeah, hopefully if Jackal can make it next time, it'd be a great time for Jackal to step in.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, God, I really hope Jackal can make it.
Be nice, but yeah, obviously, sounds like work sucks. Right now.
Yeah, he's had a lot of issues with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame.
Made it for me.
So, real quick review session. We did not get the porcelain QET after all.
Yeah.